What's up, everybody? Rene Rodriguez with a Long Story Longer podcast here. Very exciting news that I got today. I can't really talk about it just now, but I'm having a hard time talking because I'm so excited. I'm tripping on my tongue. I'm mumbling a whole lot, but I'm going to try to get through this. This week's episode was a great one. I had Miss Prettie Poison and Skatey Perry from the Borderland roller derby come over today. Very great guests. They talked about the roller derby here in El Paso, and I had a great time getting to know both of them, hearing their stories as to why they joined roller derby. See, I'm tripping on my tongue already. But great guests, man. They're super informed in their sport. They were easy to talk to. They were funny. They were hilarious. They were fun. Great guests. So I can't wait till you guys watch the rest of this episode and get to know them. They've got an event coming up April 27th at the El Paso County Coliseum. I'll have all their details and everything here on the episode in case I forget anything, but I'm pretty sure the time is going to be gates open at 5 p.m. and the event starts at 6 p.m. and it ends at 8 p.m. And they always have an after party at Hope and Anchor on Mesa. Um, but yeah, man, great guests. I was very happy to have met them, made some new friends. Um, so yeah, tune into the rest of the episode. Real quick before I get into the episode, though, just wanted to talk about mountain biking. So years back, pre-COVID, myself and my one of my best friends, Freddie, had bought ourselves mountain bikes to get healthy, right? And like most other hobbies that I've picked up along the way here and there, from the get-go, you start off full steam, right? And then you stop doing it for a while. I stopped doing it for several years. I never did anything crazy, anything intense. Um, yes, it's an excuse for sure what I'm about to say, but the reason I stopped doing it was because I was mostly not riding trails, but riding the neighborhood. And there's dogs that come at you, right? All these rabid-looking dogs trying to bite bicyclists, and I'm afraid of dogs. Some of you are gonna have jokes. Some of you guys that know my history with dogs, yeah, have your jokes. I won't get into it, but yeah. But it kind of sucked riding around Socorro, my neighborhood, riding around Socorro with a bike where dogs are loose and everything trying to bite you. No bueno. But all these years later, working in San Diego, I remember talking about it with my homeboy Joe, um, talking about how we were taking Ubers everywhere in San Diego, right? And we just thought, wouldn't it be badass if we had some bikes here, just to ride up to the beach because it's not too far, and we never took action, not from the get go. Eventually, my foreman he bought his first mountain bike while we were out there. So then that inspired me to get one, and everybody on the gang, not everybody, but most everybody on our gang got a mountain bike. So we've been riding. We've been riding from the hotel down to the beach. We're about just under 4 miles away from Ocean Beach. So we started taking our bikes to Ocean Beach and back to the hotel. Sometimes take our bike out there, stop at a bar, stop at a restaurant, have some food, and then ride back. So we at least earn our dinner, right? But we started doing it more and more every day. And I'm glad because I'm being physically active and I'm in love with mountain biking again. I got a pretty badass bike over there that was used for not too bad of a price. I'm happy with the bike I bought out there. Um, but we started doing that trip to Ocean Beach at first, again, just under 8 miles. And then we started pushing ourselves a little bit further and further each day. So we started going from the hotel to Ocean Beach, to Marina Bay, to Mission Beach, to Pacific Beach. And we've been clocking anywhere from 8 to 10 to 12 to 16 miles. It's been good. I've been doing it almost every day that I'm out there because I figure, I'm working from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m., a 10-hour work shift. I think it's cool that I've been getting off of work and not fucking staying in my hotel doing nothing, watching stuff on my tablet, watching my Netflix shows or watching whatever shows I'm watching at that point in time. Um, I fell in love with mountain biking again because again, I won't go into details of some of the stuff I've been going through, but I've been going through some stuff, some legal stuff, and then some other personal stuff. And what's cool is Agent, my co-producer, he's told me, he's like, dude, I don't see how with all the stuff you're going through, you've been able to handle everything with grace. I think biking has a lot to do with it for sure, but it's also I think the older that I get, I've been thinking, you know what, man, there's stuff that's beyond our control. There's stuff that is going to handle itself with time. Why stress it? But the mountain biking has been helping me a lot for sure. I'm in love with it again. I for sure zone out when I'm doing it. I do have fun doing it with my coworkers. I think that helps out too, that we're all doing this together, staying active together. Having that crew that backs you up and everything is badass as well. So I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit, man. I'm back into mountain biking. I don't see myself letting it go like I did the first time. I'm riding my bike here at home again, and I'm going to be riding every day that I'm at work. And it's crazy because we stay at the same hotel every hitch that I'm over there in San Diego. And it had already happened to me 2 or 3 times that the security before this last week, that the security guard goes up to me asking for proof of me staying at that hotel. And you guys know me. I'm really cool. I'm very calm and collected, right? But this guy had already asked me 3 times, and 3 times I'm like, here's my fucking room card. I'm staying here, man. What's the deal? But I've been cool about it. I've been real patient and real cool about it. But this last hitch, man, again, I'm respectful, but I did raise my voice because I see this guy walking down the parking lot upset. He's huffing and puffing. He's very animated. I see him from about 50 yards away, give or take. And I knew he was walking up to me and my coworker, Dom. And I told Dom, dude, I bet you anything this guy's going to come and huff and puff and ask us for our room keys. And yeah, sure enough, he gets there practically out of breath. And the dude, before he could say too many words out of his mouth, I was like, dude, we're here every other week, man, for a week at a time. If you want proof of us staying here, how many more times a year are you going to ask? We're always here. We're always the same people with the same bikes, man. What's going on? And he just tripped on his tongue. He just fucking walked away like, be safe out there. Like, cool, whatever. But it's just annoying, man. Like he sees us every day. Is it a power trip that people get because they're miserable at work? I don't know what it is, man, but we're not hurting anybody riding bikes. All we're doing is pumping up our wheels and taking off. The second we're all ready, we just take off and go about our business on the trail, But this guy, he just got on my nerves for the last time. And I doubt he'll bug us again. But if he does, I'll be a little bit more patient from now on because I already voiced my opinion to the guy, and it is what it is. But anyway, again, I'm in love with mountain biking again. I love it. I'm not going to stop doing it. I feel a lot healthier doing it too. So I'm earning my dinners is the way I see it now too. I mean, yeah, we've got the work hitch and everything throughout the day, but that extra exercise from getting all those miles in under my belt each evening, whatever, I feel better about it. And I'm glad my coworkers are doing it. I'm glad I'm doing it. And so, yeah. So anyway, again, great episode. Stay tuned. Without further ado, the girls from Borderland Roller Derby, Miss Prettie Poison and Skatey Perry. Great episode. Love you guys. Enjoy the show. What's up, everybody? Rene Rodriguez here with a Long Story Longer podcast, and today's guests, Borderland Roller Derby's own, Ivy Ruiz, Miss Prettie Poison, and Susie Guillen, Skatey Perry. Woo! What's up, ladies? Thank y'all for making it to Socorro.
Yes. Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us. Thank you for the long drive.
I made it worth your while, though.
It's been fun. It's been very fun.
We had some coffee and we had some rum.
Woo! Ooh, no, I didn't, Mom. I didn't.
No, I did, Mom. She'd be proud.
I did, Dad. No, I didn't, Mom.
My dad, no. My mom would be like, yeah,
we're back.
So you guys are in roller derby. That's amazing. That's pretty fun.
Yes.
I've meant to make it out there for a long time, and I apologize beforehand earlier because I've never made it. It's only because I had a busy-ass schedule up until recently. So I'm gonna make it to your next event, April 27th.
How exciting! You're gonna love it.
You're gonna love it. April 27th. It's family friendly. Bring your kids. Bring your grandma. Bring your aunts. Everyone.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my boy for sure. Adrian's going, and I'm gonna take my brother Ruben as well. He's excited for it too.
Oh, yay!
So
yes,
it'll be fun times.
We love newcomers. We love the people that always like are regulars, I guess you could say.
Right.
Because they keep us afloat, you know. Because they love us. They love Pretty Poison's little booty.
Who does it? It walks around everywhere.
Nice. So with the roller derby though, you guys have been doing it for how long?
I've been doing it for going on 15 years.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I've been doing it. This year will be my 11th year.
Nice. That's a lot of dedication for both of you combined, for sure.
Yeah.
Shows how much you guys love it and appreciate it.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's been a journey. I would like to say for both of us. You know, we've come from years of training, years of practice, years of learning like what we're good at, and coming into who we are now as skaters, and just, you know, we got to not only understand ourselves as you know, empowering ourselves and feeling like, wow, like there's something out there that we can actually do.
Right.
And it, you know, we have our own day jobs. Yeah. And at night we're over here on our roller rink, and we're like, wow, I can actually do this.
It's time for the alter egos.
Yeah, our alter egos come out.
Alter egos. We have our, well, me at least, I can speak for myself. I have my boring day job, but then at night, it's something completely different, something that I love, something I'm passionate about, my hobby, my safe space, you know, like a lot of us girls, again, speaking for myself, but I think it relates to a lot of other girls as well. Derby has become our safe space, our haven, you know, like to just release all the boring stress or all the regular stress, family stress. And then we come to Derby at 7 o'clock, and I leave it at the door. Like, I forget everything that happened during the day. And when I come to skate, like, I have my friends, and then, you know, we skate and we hit each other, and it's the most exciting time for me, because again, me boring job. But I know we all do different things. We all have different jobs and stuff, but yeah, even for me, when things were rough, I would look forward to Derby, and I would even do more than I had to, because I'd be like, hey, can I go to your practice? Like, I just need to be I just didn't want to be home, and I just wanted to go to Derby, because
not just being idle, doing nothing productive.
Doing nothing, being on my phone, like, let me get active, and let me, you know, just be with my other, you know, the sisters in the league, you know, like, because that's what our relationship is.
Right.
You know, we love, hate each other.
I mean, I love you. I don't know what you're talking about.
But not on game day. Game day's a different story.
That's not what I heard when I was on the track, but all right.
Sure.
Game day, the chingazos coming up.
Oh, they do.
100%. 100%. But no, I mean, we all have a pretty good relationship right now, and we all are excited to play. Also, we just had our track down for like almost a month. Was it a month?
Yeah, like
weeks?
roughly 2 weeks, maybe.
It felt longer.
So
it felt like
a long time.
And then we finally got it back up, so we're back to skating this week, and so it's just been so liberating, and so, again, I had practice yesterday, so I'm a little sore today, but it was just so, like yesterday, me and my co-captain, Maleficent, shout out, we were talking like, oh man, like, it feels like we haven't skated in forever, and we felt so good afterwards, like, we were just, like, full of life, like, I had a rough day yesterday. We were talking about it. Me and Prettie, we had rough days yesterday. But after practice, I was like, "Oh, I feel so good. Prettie, let's hang out."
And we did.
And we did.
We were prepping for this podcast.
We were.
That's what we were doing.
We were
loosening up.
We were.
We were loosening up.
I didn't have rum, but I had whiskey, so I was like, okay.
And as the general manager, you've got to be loosened up quite a bit.
I do.
So.
Yes.
My job is really stressful, but you know what? I love doing it. So
Nice.
Sometimes I'll text Prettie like at midnight, be like, "Don't be mad, but I have a question." And she goes, "Okay, give it to me." Like, okay, tell me what's wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I'm so sorry, but," and I know it's not just me. There's a lot of us that text Prettie all day, every day, all hours of the night. Yes,
Yeah.
different personalities, and so, but she
I
handles
don't
it
see.
like a champ. She handles it with so much grace. You can't even. She tells me sometimes, expresses, certain stresses, and I'm just like, oh my god, you have all that, plus all of us bothering you. Like, she handles it with so much grace. She does a really good job.
Nice.
No, but something I tell Skatey all the time, this was never something, if you were to ask me about 15 years ago if I would be, general managing a league, I would have told you, hell no. Like, I cannot picture it. Now that I'm in the position that I'm in and I manage this league and I deal with, 60 plus women and men, it's just one of those things where, you become invested because you get to know these people personally, like,
Right.
I know not only, Skatey Perry, but I know Susie, like, I get to know these people on a personal level, and you invest in them because you hear their stories and you hear where they come from, and that's why you want to be, part of them. You want to help them,
For
if
sure.
this league helps them, I want to help them in return.
Sure.
And yes, it is stressful. And yes, I do more than I need to. But
Does.
you know what? I do it because I love it.
She goes
For
above
sure.
and beyond. She's downplaying it. Like, she goes above and beyond for us. Excuse me, not just as skaters, but just in the league in general. She just does so much, and she shows up very pretty poison. And again, she just handles it so well with not just me, with the other girls, the other teams, the league, and our the owner.
My jefita.
Yeah, Fita. Her name is
My turn. China, shout out.
Chino tu madre.
China tu madre.
That's such a cool name.
Yeah.
And I did notice when we were talking before we started recording up in the kitchen, you guys do call yourselves by your alter ego names.
Yes,
Yes.
right now that
More than your actual name.
I was like, not Pretty using my government name.
I know, it's weird. It's like we're in a relationship, and you never use your
Right.
spouse's real name because it's weird.
It's-
It's the same thing with
It's-
Derby. You
yeah.
just don't use it.
And some people be like, oh, Stephanie so and so. I'm like, who's Stephanie? They're like, she's on your team.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
like,
who?
oh.
It's like, oh, it's Smacky, and I'm like, oh my god, say that. Like, we don't really know a lot of our real names. We always call each other by our skater names, like Pretty, Skatey, and
Skatey.
all the other girls. But it's so when they do, I'm like, are you mad at me? Why
Yeah.
did you say my real name.
And then they know I'm mad because I'd be like, Susie. And then she's like, what did I do?
in the principal's office.
One of my best friends at work, Josh Overton, I saw him recently in Kansas City. We had gone out there for yearly startups that we do, and I told some of my friends, I ran into Josh, and they're like, who the fuck are you talking about? Which Josh? I'm like, Shit Lips. They call him Shit Lips.
Oh my god.
or Lips for short. So the second I say his nickname, oh, I know who you're talking about,
Yes,
You can't say Josh.
It's exactly that. It's exactly that. And it's even funnier when they say their names and you're like, I have no idea who you're talking about. They're
Yeah.
like, she's on your team. I'm like, oh.
See, I gotta learn both. In my position, I have to know both. So sometimes when I'm describing to, like, in Skatey's realm, I'm telling her, hey, so what's going on with, Steph? And she's like, who? I'm like, hold on.
Like, I don't know who you're talking about.
And I'm like, this person, and you're like, oh, why didn't you just say that in the first place? But, you just get so used to it. You get so used to it because you hear that name and you're just like, that's what they are.
Yeah. And also, because on my team there's 3 Susies, so
Right.
That's
there's
right.
no way no one's calling no one Susie, because they will all turn like, huh, what, who,
Susie
Which one?
1, Susie 2, and Susie 3.
I'm Susie 1 because I've been here longer.
Right.
And I'm number 1. Just kidding. So yeah, we all call it, and even at work. So I'll say this tidbit. So there's 2 Susies on our team, and coincidentally, she's also in Derby,
Right.
and now she's on my team. So we have 2 Susies, both Susie G's. Both names are
That's
with a
true.
G. So they're like, everyone kept confusing us, and then we're like, I suggested, I was like, what if you call us by our Derby names, and that way it's easier. We'll answer to it because we already know. And so yeah, so at my work, she's in my team at work. They're like, okay, Robo, okay, Skatey, and so now we know who's who. So it's even gone outside of Derby that I'm being called this,
For sure.
my skater name,
That's
and I
really-
love it. I love it.
That's really cool. So as far as like your name, Ivy, your government name, and then your Miss Pretty Poison.
Yeah.
Is that a reference to Poison Ivy from Batman, maybe, or?
Yes.
Nice.
So in high school, because my name is Ivy, people used to call me Poison Ivy, or just for short, they would call me Poison. But I took that name because I was just like, I didn't want to be like generic as far as like, oh yeah, Poison Ivy. So at the time, I was trying to distinguish myself as, single. So I put Ms. on it, and then I put Poison because that's what I was known for in high
Right.
school. And then Pretty, and I know when my boss listens to this, she's going to be like, shut up. But truthfully, the reason why I put Pretty is because I've always been told, like, I've had a pretty face. So that's why I put Pretty. But,
She said that to me at orientation. She's like, "I always thought I was pretty. People call
But
me
it was
pretty.
the way I
I'm
said
pretty
it.
Poison." But yes, it's the same thing. Like, because I remember her telling me this when I first joined Fresh Meat, first day,
Right.
and I don't know if someone asked her, and she said the exact same thing.
I was like, because I'm pretty.
She's like, I think I'm pretty, and like people tell me I'm pretty, so I just thought Pretty Poison.
I was waiting for somebody in the back to be like, girl.
No,
Like, shut up.
That's not true. No, never. She is pretty.
Cocky much? No.
I know, like, girl, shut up. You
I'm just
ugly.
kidding.
It's sad because I
No,
told
no.
my sister that because my family is actually very involved with the Derby. My mom is actually an official. So my mom is Mama Poison.
Right on.
And then my grandma, she's not part of the league, but that woman will.
But she's honored.
She helped me so much. There was a point in some games where my grandma had to help me with ticket. I'm horrible with math. So my grandma was really good at math. She had to help me with like the door and stuff like that. And now she's known as Grandma Poison, right? And then I have my niece, and she's Baby Poison. And I remember my poor sister, she's going to hear this. But my poor sister, she was just like, well, if I were to join Derby, like, what would I be? Because you're like Pretty Poison. Mom is like Mama Poison. Grandma's Grandma Poison. I was like, girl, you be ugly Poison. I was that petty. But she knows I love her. But I was like, but that's what you are.
Or leftover poison.
Leftover poison. Found in the dumpster poison.
No, and it's pretty cool that so our Derby names do like overflow to our family.
Right.
Like so my dad is Papa Perry.
Right on.
Mama
yeah.
Perry. And
And tell us how you came up with Skatey Perry, because we talked about it before.
okay, yeah, so
for the viewers to find out.
yeah.
So Skatey Perry.
I get the question a lot, like, oh, are you like the biggest Katy Perry fan? And I like her. I do, enjoy some of her music, but it wasn't that. I just like the way that it sounded. But so when I first joined Derby, I was going in, because when you do Fresh Meat, they tell you in the beginning, like, while you're in training, they're like, we're going to train you, but start thinking of your Derby name, because once you get drafted into a team, they're going to need your Derby name. So I was still in training, and then, so I know Adrian, comedian over here, Adrian Monroy. And so, him along with other comedians, that I was hanging out with at the time, I put a post on Facebook, and I was like, guys, I need a Derby name. Like, I need suggestions for a Derby name. I put it on a post, and then I tagged certain people, mostly comics. So I had all these.
That could have gone so bad.
I think I hope they still respect me, but they respected me at the time to not give me like nasty, ugly names.
Right.
So it was like suggestion, like all these comments and all these things, and which I was telling the story earlier. One that also our friend Tony came up with. He's like, how about Subaka? And I thought that was the most funniest thing, but that's just all that I thought. It was just funny. And also, I, again, love Star Wars, but not the biggest fan. I didn't feel like it rang true with me. And so they gave me all these suggestions for me to just pick my own Derby name and going with Skatey Perry. But yeah, I just like the way it sounded. And now people just drop the Perry now. They just call me Skatey, which again, I love. That has followed me everywhere. Like, so also my neighbor who knows Pretty, he didn't know my real name, but he just calls me Skatey. So when we see each other, he's like, hey, Skatey. And I'm like, oh, Jerry. And, so that's
almost celebrity status.
I feel a little bit like that. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when people call me Skatey, or I was out for a coworker's birthday party at it was Rad's. Now it's Rad's. And I was, we're playing pool, and then I heard Skatey. I'm all, yes. I'm just kidding. I was like,
hold on, let me get ready for the camera.
Who called my name? And yeah, just other people that either know me or other skaters, and so it is. I mean, I think the same with Prettie. Like,
yeah, I rarely. If you call me Ivy, it's because I've probably known you way before Derby. You know, sure. Unless it's family, then they'll call me other names. But mostly, no. Like, yeah, when I started Derby and I started to, move into like training and then my position, and then I talked to businesses and I started to get to know the community. Everybody just, they rarely ever call me Ivy. They're always like Prettie, Prettie this, Prettie that. And that's how I know they know me. They probably know me from Derby, or that's what they're used to. That's what they're used to hearing. So you just adapt to that name. Right on. Like it's sometimes even weird, like how she was saying. It's weird, like when I hear Ivy and I'm just like,
yeah,
like what?
And I know I do know her name is Ivy, but even they're like, Ivy told me, I'm all, who?
Yeah, you still Ivy. Don't register it.
Prettie? And they're like, yes. I'm like, say that. Say Prettie. Don't say Ivy. Not here. Not in Derby.
We've got to get fanboy shirts for myself and Adrian and come up with names for ourselves, Adrian.
Yes. Yes.
For whenever we go to your events.
And you know what? I try to get everyone to join. Like everyone, I tell them, like, tell your mom, tell your aunt, tell your grandma. Everyone can join. There's no age limit.
Your sister, your cousin, your
everyone,
neighbor.
your brother. They can be refs, and then
are they over 18? Okay, cool.
Yeah, they have to be over 18. Them's the rules. But it's fun because I was like, you get to see a lot of tough girls out there hitting each other, and you get to watch and also call them out on their penalties for the guys. And I was like, the girls, you get to get all that rage out from the day. You get to, make new friendships, which is very important. Like, a lot of my good friends now are because of Derby, which I enjoy, I appreciate. I love these girls. I love these girls. But yeah, and I'm just like, and you get to pick a Derby name. You can be whatever you want. And they're like, oh, a Derby name. Like, that somehow that's the biggest appeal sometimes, just to have a different name, like the alter ego.
What's the most clever name you guys have heard? Like, China Tomato sounded good whenever you guys said it.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's pretty cool.
So, I don't know. So there is a girl on my team, and she's tall. And,
I know
who. She's tall. And do you guys know Scott Pilgrim? Mm-hmm. So she named herself Ramona Towers. And I thought that was cool because she's so freaking tall. Like, she is a tower. Mm-hmm. So when she told me her name, I was like, oh, that's so good. It just, like, fits well, and it's not her real name. What's her real name?
That's it. Like, case in point.
Oh, her name is Julie.
Sorry.
So we call her Ramona. Or
yeah, now we're
Towers.
So used to it.
Yeah. So again, because I'm like, I don't need to know your real name. What's your Derby name? And then after we'll go from there.
There has to be like one clever name, like
that. I'm just saying that's the first one that came
that's
to
a
me
good
that
one,
got me, because
right?
I was just like, oh, this is perfect. This is so perfect for you, and clever to me. Like my co-captain, her name is Maleficent, so I think that's super cool.
M-A-U-L.
M-A-U-L.
Yeah, she'll maul your face out.
She capitalized the mall and then efficient. And and bleeding on to her family, so she has a little boy, a little son, and I dubbed him Smallificent because he's so tiny. And so, like, we just, I think it's super cool. Like, even your kids have Derby names. We had Atomic Blossom, and her little girl was Atomic Brat.
Right.
So
nice.
I just. Yeah, we can go on and on about Derby names because they're just so fun.
There's so many, and you can't really pick one.
Like, like on the spot, could you pick your own Derby name right now?
No, but I can pick Adrian's.
What's Adrian's?
Oh,
Chino Cochino.
Oh, yeah.
I like that one.
Too accurate.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's cool because even so, my old, every job I've had, everybody comes up with nicknames. But my old job before the railroad, we had one of my drivers named Mundo. He came up with clever nicknames for everybody. I used to work at the rock quarry here in El Paso. It was Joe back in the day. Then it became Cemex. I think it's GCC now. But this guy came up with very clever Spanish nicknames for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So like we had like a groundskeeper, short, skinny, dark-skinned dude. He called him hormiga, an ant, because he was always outside working in the sun, right? And there was a guy that had gout, and all he would eat was eggs. And they make mayonnaise out of eggs, right? So he called them el mayoneso. So I just always thought his nicknames were hilarious. Like they were,
Yeah.
so
We did that too. We like in Adrian. He's been hitting it all day. Very punny. So I'll give away my government name again. So I'm Susie Guillen, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then one of my friends dubbed me Susie Gallina. And then so like it's always been a wordplay with names. At least I do. And then my best friend Jennifer, she's Jennifer Orozco.
right.
And then she came up with Jennifer Arroz con leche. And so
Oh, that is pretty good.
and like so at the time we worked at Supercut, so
Right.
I was Susie Gallina, she was Jennifer Arroz con leche, and then we were like looking at the other girls who cut hair. One of the girls, her name was Tanya.
Right.
Honestly, I don't remember her last name, but we just called her Tanya Araña. Because like we just like it's fun. Like you can go on and on for days as Adrian can do as well. Just coming up with all his thing.
We got a friend named Roger that was notorious for doing that, huh?
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like it's 'cause it's fun, and it sticks or it doesn't, but they're still fun.
Oh yeah. And you guys were mentioning earlier. You've mentioned fresh meat a couple times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell us what I mean. It's pretty obvious, but tell us what fresh meat is.
So we have a new class coming
New
in.
blood.
New blood. So if you guys are interested in joining, we do have a new class that we're intaking in May 12th. It's gonna starts at 6 p.m. It's at the Apascocana Coliseum Judging Arena. So it's basically where we practice and we play. But yeah, I mean, I always tell people like, because everyone's always, it's the same question every time. I don't feel I'm cut out for it. I feel I've never skated before. I've heard everything. And I always tell people this. I said, look, if you have the time, the dedication, I'm willing to work with it. You know what I mean? Like the thing with derby is it does take up time. It's a commitment. It's a commitment. But if you're willing to commit and put all you got, I don't need the best skater, but I need somebody with heart.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if anyone out there is interested in joining, May 12th is the date that we're starting our first class. All we ask is that you purchase your own equipment, your skates. And
we also
hey,
do have some loaners.
yeah, and we have loaners too. Like if you come
Extra
in and you're like, I don't
helmets.
have something,
Yeah.
I'm missing a skate,
Pads.
I'm missing an elbow pad. It's like we as veteran skaters, we've collected over the years. Like what, like let's put this in the loaner box in case we have new skaters, they can borrow it until they get their own gear.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I always tell people if this is something you want to do it. Challenge yourself. And I've always told people that I've met in the past that are kind of like on the fence because they're like, yeah, but it's because like I'm too shy, I'm too little,
Yeah,
I'm too
I'm too
big,
small, yeah.
And I always tell people, you know what? One, I've been on both sides on weight. I've been a big girl, I've been a small girl. Like it doesn't matter.
Same.
What matters is technique. If you have the technique, you can play derby.
And I did see a video where on YouTube where you got interviewed before, and I did hear part of your story where I'm not going to say it verbatim. I might say words mixed up or whatever, but you had told this gentleman that at the time when you came across it, your boyfriend at the time had told you were too timid to try out or something.
Oh, yeah.
And you wanted to prove him wrong.
So yeah, when I first started, I always tell people, and I probably said it in that interview too. I said, it's a cliche story, but it's a true story. It's true to me. When I first started derby 15 years ago, I was with someone that, at the time I felt didn't have faith in what I could do and my ability as a person. I took my sister to the movies. I was going to go watch, it was her birthday. I was going to go watch a movie with her. My ex was with me at the time. And this is at the time where the girls had barely started this league. We were still a flat track league. And they were skating around outside of the movie theaters, and they were passing out flyers like, hey, we're recruiting skaters and stuff. And I remember they gave me the flyer. I'm looking at the flyer, and I'm like, I had never heard of roller derby. I didn't know what roller derby was. I just looked at the flyer, and I was like, wow, I'm looking at these girls. They're big girls, they're smaller girls, medium-sized girls. At the time, I was kind of like a chunky girl. So I was just like, wow, that inspired me to be like, I would like to do something like that. Right when I said that, my ex was just like, no, you can't do it.
Rude.
Yeah, rude. I was like, you can't do it. You're too shy. You can't even order your own food. Like, that's how he was to me. And I was like, this is my personality, though. Even though I was a shy person, I was also a very determined person.
Right.
And I always loved, even when I was little, I've always loved to prove people wrong.
Very determined, and now you're the president.
Yeah. So, I mean, here I am, 15
But that's a story that you
15
can
years
relate
later.
to the newcomers, to the fresh meat.
Yeah,
That's where-
and it's a
Sure.
story I always share, actually, with a lot of the newcomers. Because I do get girls that are very shy. I do get girls that are very, like, they're coming out of their shells. They're not too comfortable to do something like this, like a sport.
So is there something where more or less, had you, if you were timid, like your ex-boyfriend had said at that point in time, I'm sure roller derby helped you break out of that shell as well. Not just trying to prove your point that, you know what, I'm gonna prove these people wrong, but also this is something that probably helped you break out of that shell too, maybe.
Oh yeah. I'll give you an example. So, the owner now of our league. So she, and this is a story I love to share. I think you've probably heard it. So when I started derby, the owner now of Borderland roller derby, she had no idea who I was. She did not know my name. Chinita, if you're hearing this, I'm telling that story. So she had no idea what my name was, and I remember I would go to her. I'd be like, "Hi, my name's Ivy." Well, because I didn't have a derby name at the time. I was like, "Hi, my name's Ivy. I was gonna ask you," and she'd be like, "I don't know. Yes, girl." Like, she would call me girl. She'd be like, you, hey, you. And I remember one day I was like, that woman is going to know my name. And sure enough, 15 years later, all I hear is, Prettie!
Yeah.
Prettie! And I was like, damn right, you know my name. I take it with a grain of salt.
No, yeah. China's when I first started, she was rough around the edges, but because we didn't know her. And then she didn't care to know the skaters. She's just like, I'm just here to collect dues, and I'm here to make sure all the paperwork is in order, because we have to do paperwork for our stuff and when we join. But she's, I don't know if she's gonna hate it, but she's rough around the edges, but she's a really good person. She's a really sweet, very kind person. And I think she even tried to skate at one point. And she says this story a lot. She's like, I put skates for one day, and I was done. She's like, one and done.
I think
not
I even
doing
took her
it no
gear.
more.
I took some of her gear.
Yeah,
she's like, you can have it.
She tried it, and she's like, nope. I'm gonna be in behind the scenes, and but no, China's the best. But before I forget, because it's a common misconception with fresh meat, is that they come and see a game, and then, we're like, hey, come join, and they think they're gonna join and they're gonna play the next game.
Right.
And that's also, and I have to tell people, they're like, no, I can't do that. I was like, no one can right off the bat. That's why fresh meat is a training class.
It's a program.
It's a program, and excuse me, they teach you how to fall, how to stop, how to get speed, how to control your speed. Those are all really important things when playing the sport. It's a contact sport, and so I wanted to get that out there for people who do want to join derby, and they think like, oh, I'm gonna join and then I'm gonna play a game and you guys are just gonna hit me and I'm gonna fall. And no, it's not that.
Baby steps.
It's,
There's a learning curve you gotta get to first.
Yes, and Prettie's a trainer as well. She's a jack of all trades. What can't she do is the thing.
I do graphics. I do training.
She's the president. She's a skater. She's a trainer. And she trains the new girls. First, let's put on all our gear correctly. Because I know me, one time when I first started, I put my wrist guards backwards. So with the wrist guards, it's like a hard piece of plastic right here. So
Right.
when you fall, you land on it. And I had them on the other side.
Girl, it's not
And
that
I
bad. I've
skated
had a
like that.
skater who put their knee pads on their elbow.
Oh yes, you see,
I've had that.
Like
I've had that.
I put my helmet on backwards. Like it was like, you look weird, and I'm like, but I have all my stuff on. And then it's like, your helmet's on backwards. I'm like, oh, how embarrassing.
You're like, hold that.
Yeah. But yes, so I just wanted to bring to the attention of the new girls that do decide to join, is that there is training beforehand. Like, we're not not in the wolves, we're not gonna throw you to the wolves.
Not
like,
trial by fire,
no. It's baby steps. First, this is your gear, this is your skates. Let's try moving a little bit at a time, and then gradually move on to the track. Mm-hmm. So just for the people wondering, like, it's a process.
Yeah.
And so for the freshman events, is it somewhat of a vetting process too, to see if they're going to make the cut all in all, or do you guys have to take cards and tell them?
See, that's the beauty part of it. A lot of people are like, they hear tryouts, and this is something that's another misconception. You hear tryouts and you're like, okay,
I won't make it.
Am I going to make it or not? Like, is it, you're going to see if I'm good or not? And I always tell people all the time, like, no. Derby can be for anybody as long as you are determined to try.
Dedicated to the sport.
So I've had fresh meat girls who have, some are quicker learners, some are, faster, slower.
Pick it up quicker, yeah.
I will stay with you to the end. I've had girls that are like, have just stepped on the track, never stepped on the track before, and they start speeding through it.
Like nothing.
And I'm like, well, you suck, because it took me a while to learn how to get on that track.
You suck, but you're so good.
I hope you're on my team.
Yeah.
But I've also had girls that it does take time.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I've told those girls that it takes time with, don't feel discouraged. Don't feel discouraged, because I'm going to be with you to the end. My job isn't to make you feel like you can't do it, go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My job is to make sure that you can see it through until you get onto your team and you are experiencing what everybody else can experience.
It's only going to make it better for the sport and the league if you guys help each other glow.
Exactly.
Yeah. And not just the trainers, when they train the girls, us vets sometimes will come and like kind of help out and just be like, hey, what are you struggling on? Or, hey, I saw you're standing up, like, let me show you the derby stance again, like, let's work through it. So we're always there to help no matter what, like, not just the trainers, but us vets. We go and we try to skate with them, because we're going to end up skating with them eventually, right? And also, we don't want to intimidate, we're like, we're all cool, don't worry, we're cool. Like, yes.
Like,
I'm not pretty on her ass, but
chronic, I'm not
we're
lying.
fine.
They have chronic witch face, so when I look at someone, I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at you. But some of them do have, that persona, like, and it's true. You not only learn from the veterans and the trainers, but like I tell fresh meat when they come in, I said, yes, you're gonna be learning from trainers, but your best bet is to honestly learn from another skater.
From the vets.
Yeah. Even her and myself included. Yeah, she's been skating for 11. I've been doing it for 15 years. We still learn things.
Oh, yeah.
To this day.
Oh, yeah.
I barely learned how to, jump backwards. Just last year.
Oh, yeah.
My teammate Sharky taught me. And I was like, oh, I can't even do that. I just learned that. You know what I mean? And I've been doing it for so long. There's always something new you can learn to do. Yeah. And that's what I tell fresh me. I was like, don't feel discouraged. We, as veterans, are still learning.
I used to love skating, so I'm 44 years old now. Back in the day, I think they were my older brothers. I had some hand-me-down roller skates that were Adidas. They were blue and yellow.
Adidas.
With I believe the tires were yellow too. So I was badass on those skates. But then rollerblades came out and they were the thing, right?
Oh,
Everybody got into rollerblades and everything. Yes. And I felt like I was deceived by them, because in my case with rollerblades, am I recording? Yes, I am. With
imagine this whole time.
Let's start again.
No, but with the rollerblades, they'd kill my ankles and I couldn't use them as well as I could skates.
Yeah, so the quads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't. I don't like rollerblades.
Same.
My foot, like, it hurts. It hurts my pinky toes, and same. My dad went to a garage sale when we were little and brought home adult skates, like 3 pairs.
Right.
And we were kids, And we would just skate with them, and our foot didn't fit. We were slipping and sliding all over that skate. But I learned how to skate on a skate that didn't fit me, and we just learned how to just skate in the yard, because my dad, he's like, I got you guys some skates. And we're like, doesn't fit us, Dad. He's like, yeah, eventually they will. And so I learned how to skate like that with quads as well. We never got rollerblades because that was for the rich.
Right.
So yeah, all my family, I even have a picture that I shared on Instagram a while back where I'm skating on these quads, and I'm just like, all wobbly, all Bambi, but I had the best time doing it. So when Derby happened, I joined because my best friend Jennifer was in it, and I saw her do it, and then I went to a game. She invited me to a game. That's when it was still flat track. It was at Buchanan's, and I saw it, and I was like, I can totally do this. Like I used to skate, when I was little, and yeah, sure enough, I joined. So I joined because of her. Like, she was in it, and I was like, me too. Like, I want to do it too. Like, I think I can, and I have for the past 11 years. But same. Even people think skating, you're like, oh, if you can skate, you can ice skate. It's a little bit different.
Oh no,
it's scary.
They're two different.
They're two different things. Again, because it feels like a
team.
Yeah, and I've done it by myself before I joined Derby, and then after, and I was just like, yeah, well, I can skate it. No, I was like one of those little kids holding onto the sides with my skates.
You can just eat shit.
There's actually
I ate.
There's video.
All of it, just
so
falling.
My coach, he used to work for the Rhinos. So one day, instead of doing practice, I hate you, coach. His bright idea was to be like, hey, let's have practice at the Rhinos. And we'll skate and stuff. And me being dumb, I was like, yeah, I could do it. It's the same thing. Blah, blah, blah. I put on the ice skating things, and I got on the ice. I was slipping and sliding. I had to hold on to the walls. I'm holding on to my teammates. Like, it is completely different. And there's video of me where I finally got it. Like, kind of.
Yeah.
And then I hear my teammate like, go, Prettie, go. And I'm just like, but I wasn't going anywhere. I was literally just going side to side. And then I ended up falling like a lot. I
didn't think it hurt as much to fall on ice. I mean, it does hurt if you keep doing it, which what I did. I kept falling on my butt. I'm just like, standing up. No, let's do it. And I would just falling back. Oh, it hurts so much. It is fun though, not to knock down. Ice skating, it is super fun, but it's definitely not the same as skating. It's not.
Different.
It's different, but it's yeah. I haven't been back. I haven't been back to the ice.
Neither have I. Don't have thoughts about it. I'm okay on
okay without it.
The bank track.
Yeah, stick to what you know.
I'll stay with roller derby and our bank track. Yeah.
And you guys mentioned the loaner box for the new skaters for the fresh meat.
Yeah.
So going into a conversation about gear, like I think about. I'm gonna try to equate this to roller skates. So like with me, I've got my guitars. I got different styles of guitars, different price ranges, whatever. Is it the same with skates? Where you have some beginner skates and some badass skates or whatever that cost a little bit more?
Yeah, and as a trainer, yes, 100%. As a trainer, and I can speak from experience because Prettie was my trainer. They're like, go and buy the Rydell's, the darts.
Yeah,
they're the beginner skaters. I mean, beginner skates. Because it's true, like you brought it up earlier, like some girls do join thinking they're gonna stay, but then they don't, and they're like the best to start out with, but if you decide not to stay, they aren't the most expensive either.
Right.
They're like a starter kit of skates, pads, helmet, and mouth guard. And so they told me that. So yeah, sure enough. And then once I got into a team, it's like you grow out of it. You're like, I want to be faster. And so then you go into the little more expensive ones. And
they got better bearings in them, I would imagine.
Yes, bearings, the wheels. You can do high top, low top. A lot of it, and even pads, like knee pads. Like I used to have the knee pads that you have to put over your foot and then slide on. And I've moved on. I will never go back. Now I get the double pads. Now I fall harder. And they're the ones that you put on and then you strap on. Like it's Velcro. Whoops. Wow. But yes, 100% to that. And there's different brands of skates, different brands of pads, and helmets.
A lot of people, they always think, and I've had this question a lot from newer skaters that come in. They say, "Oh, the most expensive is the best," and I'm like, "No." You just have to do your research. That's what it is. You have to do your research. When I first started as well, when I first started derby, my mom went to Academy, bought me $50 skates that only lasted me for 2 months, and they were worn. Like they started having holes, and she had that. She bought me knee pads, elbow pads, helmet, everything from Academy. All my gear was from Academy.
A baseball helmet.
Yeah, Lower Valley kids never die, but
It's true. It's true.
from the valley. But my mom got me all that stuff at Academy, and I started off that way, and I noticed certain things, right? Like, okay, this is not working for me. I might need to upgrade. How she was saying, you start realizing what works for you, what doesn't. So then you start investing, you start researching, you start, I couldn't pass, actually, because when you go into fresh meat and you do your entire program, you have to do assessments in order to get drafted onto a team. So when I had to do my assessments, I was struggling. I was like, man, either I can't do it. Like, there's no way. Well, also because one of my teammates, or my co-fresh meter that was with me, she was testing first. Shout out to Gloria. She was testing first, and she actually dislocated her arm during her assessments.
Oh, no.
And it went through. And our trainer at the time was like, let me just pop that thing back in. And he popped it in, and like nothing. And then they looked at me, and they're like, all right, you ready to do your... And I was like, hell no. But I noticed when I was doing my assessments that I was struggling. So I started looking up wheels. And I remember, rest in peace. He passed away, actually, a few years ago. He gave me some wheels. And they were wicked wheels. I'll never forget it. They were wicked wheels. He gave them to me, and he's like, Prettie, this is going to help you out. They're faster wheels. They're my most expensive wheels I have, but I want you to pass because I see how determined you are. I remember I switched out those wheels, and I passed my assessments.
Oh, what other difference?
Yeah, it was so different, and I never gave him the wheels back. I kept them. But... yeah, I mean, it just depends. You have to... It's a trial and error with your equipment. Like,
I didn't know. I had freaking children's knee pads and elbow pads.
Oh, girl.
So you're cutting circulation, or...
I'm El Paso tall. I'm 5'6".
Right.
And
That's El Paso tall?
for a girl. Yeah.
Then I'm like El Paso small?
You're just small.
Oh.
It's good. It's a saying, I promise. Because you go to other states and these tall trees of women.
Oh.
They're beautiful. Anyway, but I'm tall. I'm 5'6", and I borrowed pads, and I think skates up until I bought which do you recommend? The Rydell darts. Okay. But I had these loaner pads and elbows and my helmet. And I found out later they were for children. So we were doing like assessments, and we had to do knee falls. And I was like, it hurts every time I fall. Like, and then Gloria, I think it was Gloria, she's like, come here. And then I'm like, yes, ma'am. All scared. Like, it was my second day. She's like, these pads are too small for you. Like, don't do this drill. Don't do this drill. And I was like, okay, yes, ma'am. Like, I was all winded because we kept falling and getting up as a drill. And she's like, does it hurt when you fall? I'm all, yeah, a little bit. It's okay though. I can keep going. And she's like, no, you need better pads. And then, once it ended, we checked, and she's like, these are like for little kids. And I was like, no wonder. Like, everything hurt.
Yeah.
So gear is very important. Gear is very important. And then wheels also, like Prettie was saying, it makes a world of a difference. The boot makes a world of a difference. And then now they make the helmets, they make them so that, they protect you from getting concussions, although it still happens.
You still get them.
Yeah. You still get them. But yes.
Whatever.
Yeah, more expensive.
And I imagine there's skaters that from the get-go might buy the expensive stuff.
Yeah. I think one of the fresh meats, one of the girls had Impala's skates. It's a brand, but they're meant for street skating.
Yeah.
It's not meant for playing. It's just meant to be having fun. Those California skaters are out there just skating, like, for that. That's perfect. And she brought them for practice, and she was struggling. But they're awesome. Like, Impala it's a good brand, and people love them. They're very cute, real glittery and pink, I think they were. And I was all like, "Do you have different skates?" She's like, "No, it's because I just got these." And I was like, "Oh," I go, "I think you need to get Have you heard of like Rydell?" And I'm just trying to guide her because it makes a world of a difference if you're wearing the wrong skate and wrong gear.
Yeah, you have
Because
to know exactly what you need. Like, yeah, there's obviously you see quads and you're automatically assume like, okay, this is for derby.
Yeah.
But it's
Any
not.
skate, yeah, they think any skate,
it's
like the ones from
not.
Academy.
Yeah,
I've seen
sorry.
those too. No,
That's
no, no.
my mother.
Yeah, I've seen. I went to Academy too when I first started, just to be like, I just say any skate. I can do any skate.
Yeah.
No, it's different. I think even Walmart, like not too long ago, were selling like cute streets
With lights in them.
Yeah, like they were cute, and I was
Hey
like,
man,
I
I got those
want
too.
some. Yeah, I'm like, I just want them because they look cute, but definitely
Right.
could not skate in them.
They're not
Like,
gonna
not
last.
practice with them, not nothing. They're just for fun to skate around the block.
I'm coming across something similar recently because I've had my mountain bike for years, but I'm getting back into it again because I didn't touch it for several years. I'm back into it now, and there's elitists out there though. There's people that I've got a bike that costs so much, but there's people that frown on that bike because theirs costs so much fucking more, whatever.
You get
But-
bullied, like,
No, I
you
don't
have
get.
that bike?
I don't get
Oh.
bullied, but you watch YouTube videos where people talk down the bike that you just bought or whatever. You're like,
dang.
come on, man.
Oh, that sucks.
Not
You're like,
everybody
leave my
can
bike
afford
alone.
Right.
Not everybody can afford a $10,000 bike. Screw you, pal.
$10,000?
No,
That's
I'm
crazy.
not going to buy something like that. But
Oh
but
my
it's just,
gosh.
But it's just, I imagine that's the difference with the Impala skates that you're talking about. It's for a different ball game than what you guys are doing.
Yeah, 100%.
But you know what? And this is something I learned when I got to meet other leagues and stuff. I can see somebody wearing maybe, let's give or take $150 skates.
Right.
They're wearing $150 skates and they're doing amazing playing. I've seen people that spend $600 to almost $800, which I'm like, you are crazy. They'll spend that much money and it's just like, meh. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You're not putting that much effort. Like, it's honestly, to me, it's the technique you have. It's not the skate the skate kind of helps, right? Like, what you're doing, the wheels, whatever. But honestly, it's the person in those skates that what they're doing.
Yeah.
So to me, I always tell people that come into Derby, and especially our newcomers coming in on May 12th, I tell them, look, if Derby is something that you feel like I'm gonna do this, I'm determined to do this, then I tell them invest. Like I am to your disposal 24/7. Even though people tell me like you are so dumb, girl, because people are gonna text you at 2-3 in the morning. I am that person.
I do.
Yeah,
I text
she
her too.
does. She does.
WYD.
I don't have shame.
What are you doing?
You up?
I have a question.
But it translates to like I said, mountain bikes. But even like guitar, like
Yeah.
there's people that buy the badass expensive ass guitars, but they can't play a note
Exactly.
like a
Yeah,
down.
play it or use it. Yeah.
And then there's people that make do with what they have also.
Yeah, and it's true what she says, and also what helps also is all the girls, they're like, they kind of help us because they've either tried it and they shared their experience with it. So I used to have Adams skates, high top, and they were a good skate, expensive, but they were heavy, so it was weighing me down. Although great skate,
Oh, because they were metal.
they were metal, so they're heavy, so it was slowing me down. And they're like, I started asking around. They're like,
And that makes a world of difference.
it
too.
does
Yeah.
when you're skating and you trying to get speed, and not even just speed, just getting around, like just trying to weave in and out of these girls. I was just like slower. Your feet feel heavier. And then I asked the girls. I was like, "What other skates do you guys have?" And they're like, "Oh, I've tried this and this one." And I landed on Bonds. It's another brand. And then I was like, "Oh, let me look." So I went online, and then they're having like a flash sale for like $98 for the skate, and I was like, so I got into it, got them, and yeah, way different. They're way lighter. But actually I pieced together. So there's the wheels, there's the trucks, there's and then the boot, and the plate.
Yeah.
And so there's all different things. You can get it all together, but it was like a la carte. Like I got the Bont boot, and then I got the different plates, different wheels, and then plus the bearings and all that.
Oh,
And it
you
was
bought
like
it separate?
yes,
Yeah.
together. And then at the time, one of the skaters on our team had a skate shop, and so they assembled it for me, and I paid, for that.
Now, I don't know any better, but like I can see where the shape of the skate will make a difference. The wheels will make a difference. The trucks, I can't understand where the trucks would. I mean, I figure a truck is going to be a truck.
A truck.
Because I used to skateboard too.
Yeah.
So with me, skateboards were trucks. So you're going to buy the brand that you want to.
Right.
That you like whatever truck you like.
It's because you can tighten them or loosen them. Okay. So I guess I meant to say plate. The trucks are already attached right to the side, but the people they'll loosen it so that the wheels have.
It's like like a skateboard. So when you're on a skateboard, you're able to
have
maneuver.
more agility.
Right.
Same
but
thing
some
with
girls
roller skates.
like it.
Super tight.
Yeah, and so that way they have just more control. But
I love mine loose.
Yeah.
I love the fact that when
it helps you move around way better.
Yeah. There's girls that I don't know how they do it, but they manage. They'll tighten that shit up. Like they'll tighten it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like.
And this is all stuff we learn. Yeah, it's also
how do you do that?
Yeah, they're like, you need to loosen that. Like you're not moving fast enough because you don't have any movement. You're just like Frankenstein, just But with, when you loosen them, then you have just a bunch of ways to go, and possibilities are endless. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, like, I got it different, and it's just been a world of a difference. And now, I've been meaning to take them. Hold on, I don't know where they are. But I was wanting to take them to Fresh Meat and just be like, if you're this size, try it. They're just heavier, But then with the other girls, too, they're like, oh, and I've had another girl on my team. She's like, I don't like bonds. And then I'm like, why? She's like, oh, they just didn't work with me. And, so she didn't. She got, like, a different brand. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what it was. But we kind of all help each other in that way, too. Like, they've done the research. They've had experience. And then if we're the same size, we're like, oh, can I try them on? Can I use them? And, yeah, we do all that, too. So
that's one of the things that I can translate to guitar, too. You're talking about the weight. Like, there's certain guitars I won't touch because they're heavy.
They're heavy.
I like my Fenders. This is a hollow voice. It's not that heavy, but most of my guitars are Fender. I'm done buying guitars. I'm done with them. I've got what I want. But there's brands I wouldn't touch for that sole reason that they're too heavy.
They're too heavy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
it makes a difference.
Again, like how you say, you just buy it thinking like it's going to be the best ever, but then it just doesn't work with you or your body. Mm-hmm. But someone else can get it and they love it. Mm-hmm. It just depends on the person, how they use it, how they're able to utilize their skill with the skate. Mm-hmm. It just really depends on the individual.
And then going back to bearings and trucks and everything, and how I used to skateboard. I've got a skateboard, I think it's in this closet. I believe it's in there, that I bought in my older years with, I can't remember what the bearings are called, but they're pro bearings. I'm afraid to get on that skateboard now. I can't get on it. It's too... It's a suicide machine, I think. I'm going to fall off of that fucker.
Suicide machine.
The older I get, I'm like, no, that ain't happening.
I won't touch skateboards. I fall, I'm used to falling, right? You think, but they scare me. And they sense my fear, so I think it's just, I just stay away from it.
Yeah, that's why I won't touch that skateboard. And I bought it to be cool, to think, eventually I'll teach my son how to do it, but I'm going to need some slower bearings. Because these fuckers are going to be the end of me.
Did you try it here, like in your street,
or what? Yeah, I tried it in the front. I almost fell one time, and that was it. That was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, because the older you get, the falls just... It takes longer to recoup.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, I'm still getting up fast. I'm still getting up fast.
It's hard. But it's worth it. It's worth it, at least with derby. Skateboarding, no, thank you.
Yeah, we don't know how to help you on that end.
No.
I skateboarded for a little bit, but not like pro. I could literally only do an ollie, and that was it. Like that's the only thing I ever learned.
I always fall. Because I guess it should be like derby too. Like you're supposed to bend your knees a little. Mm-hmm. No, I'm always standing and so I'll just fall backwards.
Knees bent, back straight.
I'll just woo. Like I slipped on a banana peel. It's awful.
And so, give me a quick rundown for the people that aren't fully aware of the rules in roller derby. The positions and how you score points.
Oh.
Just a basic rundown.
You, me,
Yeah.
me. Ah. All right. So basically, the way that the game is run, you have two teams.
Mm-hmm.
Your two teams have 4 blockers.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have at least, we know it as a pack.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 4 from each team. Within those 4 blockers, you have what is known as a jammer. So you'll have one, not jammer, pivot.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have one pivot from each team. So it's 3 blockers and a pivot. The pivot is distinguished by a stripe on their helmet.
Okay.
So think of a pivot as somebody, I'm over here thinking of Friends. Pivot.
No, not that kind
Not
of
that
pivot.
kind of pivot. So I always think of a pivot as someone more like your like pace person.
They're like your
They set the
guide.
pace, right?
They're like
Yeah.
your guide person, like your tour guide. Like
Yeah.
they're in charge of the pack. She's
So
in
they're,
charge.
they're always on their heels.
Yeah.
Like,
They're usually the person that would be like, if I'm pivoting Skatey, I'd be like, slow it down.
Yeah, slow down.
Speed it up.
Speed it up. Get together.
Get together. I
Sit
need
it
you
down.
over here.
They're the most.
Yeah.
We were vocal, right? But they're the most vocal.
They
And
should be
they're
the
ones
most vocal.
to. Yeah, I love pivoting. I'm a good pivoter. I can say that.
She's a pivot.
Because I am a pivot. Because
Pivot.
I'm like that. I'm just like, come here, and I pull them by their jersey, like, slow down.
Oh yeah, we've done
It's
that.
it's that. I'm very handsy. I'm very like, get over here, slow it down, speed it up. It's that person. That's who the pivot is. They're in charge of their pack. Only their girls, not the other team. It's only their team.
right.
So because there's a pivot on each team, and they have to be in control.
So
of
it's
the,
1 and
of
1.
of their girls. Yeah.
So it's 2 teams, 4 blockers from each team. 1 identifies as a pivot, stripe on their helmet. They're known as the pack. They're in front of what we call the blocker line. So the blocker line is maybe about 20 feet in front of what we know as a jammer line.
Mm-hmm.
So your jammers, there's 1 from each team. The jammer is distinguished by a star on their helmet.
Mm-hmm.
And we call these panties, okay? So we literally have like
Not chonies,
not
okay?
chonies.
They're pants.
It's a
But
slip-on.
yeah,
It's a
slip-on.
panty.
So they'll put the slip-on, which is the star helmet or star slip-on, and they'll put it on. And there's 1 from each team. So when the first whistle blows within our rule set, when the first whistle blows, what is known as the pack, the 4 blockers, including the pivots, they take off. Then when they reach a certain amount of feet, they'll blow the second whistle. When the second whistle blows, the jammers take off. So if me and Skatey are jamming, the second whistle blows, her and I will take off. The whole objective, if we were jamming, is I'm trying to surpass her. So if I can get through the pack of blockers first, including mine and the opposing team, and through her, I would get what is known, and I'm doing the signal, right? But I would get what is known as a lead jammer status.
Okay.
That means I am the person that got through first before the opposing jammer. And that also means, so each jam is only a minute. But let's say for whatever reason, within strategy or just, I'm freaking tired.
She controls the game.
Yeah, I control it. So if I have lead, this means that I can call off that game, which I'm not doing anything nasty, but I can call off that game
Jams.
within the minute. So if I want to call it like in 20 seconds, I can call it in 20. If I want to call it in 30, I can call it. If I want to go the full minute,
Yeah.
I'll go the full minute. But yeah, so I will pass, and then when I come back around, the way you score points is that when I come back around for probably the second pass, is for each opposing blocker, including the pivot, I will receive 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
So if Skatey was blocking and I pass the pack and I come back around and I pass Skatey, I would collect her point.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see a lot of hitting in the sport.
It's aggressive.
It's aggressiveness, because the whole objective is you're trying to stop the opposing jammer from getting through.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the hitting is involved. But at the same time, because this is an offense and defensive game, so you're also trying to stop the opposing jammer, but you're also trying to help your jammer get through. So that's pretty much how you
It's
score
a
points.
multitasking game.
Yeah, it is.
And
There's
100%.
too much thinking.
And you can, so as far as being a blocker, you essentially block with your body, but you can't hold, right?
So you can't
Or-
hold, you can't punch, you can't kick. And elbow.
As much as you want to.
As much as you want to, just like get out of here. You can't. You do have to utilize your shoulders and your hips.
Yeah.
And your elbows need to be tucked in. So you go in and you hit this way with your shoulder, or you can go in and be like, you're in my way, and bump her out.
Yeah.
Like with your hips.
We say no chicken wing.
Yeah,
so when we say no chicken, we can't do that.
Oh, you can't elbow.
No, I can't do this and then go like that.
Yeah.
That's a penalty. It's an illegal move. And yeah, so you can't push. You can't be like, move. Although it still happens. You can't do that. And you can't trip. No punching, no nothing like that.
I can't literally like...
It's a skill. Like, you have to use your body to hit. Yeah, no, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't eye poke. Can't do nothing.
You can't bite.
You can't bite. Can't pull hair.
Yeah, there's legal and illegal zones. There's
Right.
there's points of the body that you can hit and points of the body you can't. So the way that I train new skaters is I tell them your legal zone. So the zones that you can hit from the bra strap all the way to your hip out is legal. So I can hit her from anywhere here. But another thing is the chest. I can hit that chest all I want.
Legal.
It's
but
legal.
This space right here, no. Here, yes, no, yes.
Yeah.
And along with the legs.
The legs. Anything below the knee, her back, nowhere in the head, I can't touch. I cannot hit it because then I would get a penalty for it.
Yeah. But same with the butt. Like, I can hit her right in the crack and it's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
I wouldn't like it, but
because it happens. So I've hit so many girls right in the crack because they're in my way, right? So you go and you hit them, and they're like, "Whoa!" Because you imagine being low and just not expecting someone to just, from behind, and you just fall. Oh shoot! Sorry.
Well,
fall for it, which is called starfishing.
Now the animosity begins.
I know, right? Getting animated, getting passionate. But yeah, so we have, like she said, the legal and illegal hitting zones and then with those illegal hits, you get a penalty. And then when you get a penalty on the next jam, whoever did that penalty has to come down, which means on the next jam, you're down a blocker from whatever blocker got that penalty.
So like if Skatey got a penalty for whatever reason,
there's four
tripping
of us,
me. Yeah. So she trips me on this one jam. Again, the minute jam. She trips me, so the next jam, the referee's going to call it Skatey Perry for tripping. Yeah. They're going to pull her into what we call, in the middle of our track, we have a penalty box. So it's like 3 chairs. They're going to sit her in that penalty box. So she's going to serve that penalty for the next minute jam. Because of that, because she's in that box, so let's say her team has another additional 4 players. Well, because she's in that box, they're going to have to bring one skater down because she's serving. So one skater has to come down. So instead of 4, they're only going to have 3 blockers.
But that also goes with jammers. If the jammer makes a penalty, that means one of the blockers is still down. Oh, you still get a different jammer. You can still jam, but you're down 1 girl. No matter what, you're down 1 girl if anyone gets a penalty. But sometimes it's not just 1 girl. You get like 3 girls.
But you have to have at least 1 pivot, and 1 blocker.
So what that means is, like, say for example, start with 4, how it's supposed to, but then 3 girls get penalties, but they'll allow the next jam to have the 2, but then in the next jam that other one comes down. Like, it has to, right? We can still do that in our. It's because like, our rule sets change, and I'm just making sure it was this year's same thing. So yeah, and it it'll hinder you. So we always like, don't get a penalty as a jammer. Don't get a penalty. Don't get a penalty. And blockers as well.
Pretty much play clean.
So would you be penalized if let's say you got your 4 blockers, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you've got the jammer about to break through or whatever. You're messing around with the other blockers or whatever. She's about to break through. Are you legally able, as long as you hit her within the right zone, to sandwich her a madre like
that? It happens.
Yes.
A lot.
100%.
When you get your strongest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get stuck.
Vile players that
they just like hot dog you.
Yeah. It has happened.
Yes.
I've gotten hidden actually
100%.
in places that I don't wish I got hit.
Same.
At this point, I would be pregnant with a lot of people's skates at this point.
Same.
Like, truthfully.
Same.
But, to answer your question back, yeah, you do get sandwiched. It happens. Sometimes because, let's say her and I are on the same team, we have a jammer coming through. we might not know who is going after that person, so we both just go at it. You know, it just happens.
Sometimes like two girls are like, I'm gonna hit you, mentally, like I'm gonna get Skatey, or I'm gonna get Prettie, and then we think to hit each other at the same time, and then we just like clash. It's like, oh, like, because the two forces coming to one, like, oh, those are really tough hits.
So
those
you do that, use that to your
spine.
advantage, right? That's part of the strategy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of strategies, but yes, like definitely. Basically, as long as you're hitting correctly, like no illegal way of hitting, you can do everything. You can hit as hard as you want. Block, it's the blocking, and then the jammers, they just have to find their way through the pack. But yeah, you can hit a la madre all the time, anytime you want.
See, that's my strategy. Take notes, kids. My strategy, because I'm smaller, and I won't lie, I know a lot of these girls are bigger than me, stronger than me. My strategy is to skate past.
Yeah.
Like, I try to avoid. I try to avoid all the blockers of getting hit, and that's why I'm a fast skater, because I try to avoid.
And falling. Ugh. I hate when we get momentum. We're going fast, and then someone hits you and you fall. Getting back up, it's like, oh, here I go again. At least I know that's my experience. Like some of these fast skaters, they're like, boom, okay, back up again. Like, how do you do that? Like, super nimble. Everyone's different. Yes.
See, I'm Gumby though. I've fallen really ugly, to the point that people actually have thought that I've broken things.
Oh, yes.
Like, were you there for that one game that I fell? Chinita was there. I fell during one game, and I fell on my neck. But I fell, oh no, I remember who it was, but it was Chinita there. I fell on my neck, and I fell like that, and they thought I broke my neck.
Oh my God. No.
And then I went like this, and then I was told I smiled. And then I went back up, and then I started skating. But it's because I'm Gumby.
That's crazy.
I've also hit in the rail. That hurt. Oh. But I got back up. Yeah. Like, it just depends, really. Like,
yeah. What's the worst hit you guys have had given to you?
I want to know yours, actually.
Like, wait.
A memorable hit where you were like, fuck.
Okay, I'll tell you. It was with Dee Dee Dynamite. She doesn't skate with us no more. But she was small. She was like pretty size, but that girl would hit so hard. And on top of that, the hard hits, she's also bony because she was also thin. So I would just get hurt from her hits, but also bruises because her shoulders are so bony. One time, and she would use all her body. She would hold on to one skater, and then you would see her just kind of watching you when she would, calculate her hit. She held onto the person in front of her, and all her body, she just swung, boom, and hits. I remember that. And she did that to me. And she did it to me, and I remember she hit me, and I was like, ah! But then I stood up, so then I slipped backwards, and I remember feeling like just like I was floating, all my body was in the air like this, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna die. And then I just felt like I was floating, and then boom, right on my back, on the track. I know it, the track does give a little bit, so when you fall, it's not as bad, but that one freaking hurt.
So someone that wasn't El Paso tall did that to you.
Yes, there wasn't El Paso tall. So I'm 5'9" on my skates.
Paso small.
But yes, I remember that, it was that, because I remember thinking, I didn't know what was going to happen. I really did feel like I'm going to die, I'm going to break something. She hit me so hard, and I was just, all my body was in the air, that I thought, this is over. I'm going to break something. I didn't. Thank God. But I remember that was one of my hardest hits, because it took me, I don't remember if I came back up or they had to stop it, because I remember I was down for a while. I was up for a while, and then I was down for a while. That was personally mine.
Did you get winded though, or no?
I did, because I fell right on my back. So getting back up, I was like,
takes all your momentum.
Yes, I've knocked my wind out as well, different time, but yeah, it was one of those moments. Oh, it was terrible, and I was scared of her. I still am.
I think
I'm still scared of her.
Mine is too. Mine was a home game and an away game. My first one was, I can't remember. It had to have been one of you guys. I got hit. Who was it? Someone
Me.
hit.
Just
No,
kidding. No, it
you
wasn't.
wish it was.
Was it Emily? Emily was a hard
It was
hitter.
Emily.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So I was playing against her team actually. And I know this because you guys had a watch party and they sent me the video. And I was like, bastards.
Sounds right.
But I remember this.
Look what we did to you.
Yeah, they were all having a watch party as a team. Like, oh my God, look how we hit Prettie. Let's send it to her.
Mm-hmm.
So they sent it to me. And I was just like, whatever. But I laugh at it now because then I reposted it. I was like, it's funny.
It was good.
I got
hits.
hit actually. I was coming up on the top of the turn, and one of her
Apex?
teammates, yeah, the apex, one of her teammates, I was not paying attention, but she smacked me up. And what we have is rails, right? Like we have rails so that we don't fall over the track. I ended up going face forward to the rail and I slid down. But when I slid down, my leg, because again, I'm Gumby, my leg was over my head like that. And I slid down. And everybody thought I broke my leg. And then I fell.
Like that Barbie doll that
yeah, like a Barbie doll with legs like. But yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
And I was like a cockroach.
Just like falling down.
But yeah, so I slid down with my leg was like shit like that. It was all, and I slid down and I just got back up. Like I was there for a moment and then I got back up and they decided to send it to me. And then I was like, whatever. And I was like, that is funny. I'll repost it. That was my first one, and that was a really hard hit because that was the first time I ever hit that
rail.
That rail.
Oof. Yes.
And I was like, oh, it just knocked the wind out of me. I was just like, that was a really intense hit, and she was a really good blocker. Mm-hmm. My second one is the one that I had shared with you guys. So every year I go to RollerCon. RollerCon is based off in Las Vegas, so you have people around the world.
It's Roller Derby Con.
Yeah, it's like Roller Derby Con, but no, it's also like all kinds of skaters. Yeah, like street skaters, roller derby, jam skaters. Like it's a really cool convention. Yeah. But every year they have it, and they have it in Las Vegas, and I try to go every year.
It's in July.
It's in July, hot as hell. Last year was like 115. I was melting. And I never melt. Like, I never sweat.
She doesn't turn her AC on in the car in the summer.
Yeah, she hates me for that.
By the way, side note, she picked me
I've
up.
given her rides.
Why isn't the AC on? She goes, oh, I never turn it on.
I
Do you
never turn
want
it
it?
on.
I'm all, yes. It's freaking 102.
I love the heat. So, like, that's just me. But
like,
RollerCon in the summer is the one time that I despise the heat.
Summer, it's really hot.
But yeah, in RollerCon I went. So in RollerCon you get to experience training. So you get to do classes, on skates, off skates. The cool thing is you also get to do games. So you get to play games. And some of these games are short, or some of these games are full-length games. So I remember playing this full-length game, and the thing with RollerCon is you also get to play co-ed games. So you play with men and women. I played a co-ed game, and I remember I don't even remember the theme of the game.
Oh, yeah, they theme them, which is really fun.
Yeah, they're cute. I don't remember the theme, but I remember I was wearing, I think, yellow.
Was it the League of Their Own with the peaches against the...
No, because that one's an all-female one.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
This one, I don't remember what theme. But anyway. I do remember. It was cocaine bears and teddy bears.
Oh,
That was the one. Because I was a teddy bear. And then last year I was a cocaine bear. I have pictures of that too. I wasn't real cocaine. It was just marker. But anyway... So I was a teddy bear at that game, and this guy was a cocaine bear. But he's a really big guy. He was like 6-something, 400 pounds, and I'm little,
an
you know.
bear.
Yeah, he was an actual bear. I was like, But he was an actual bear. And he's also from California. I ended up getting to meet him afterwards, but he's from California. He was playing against me. He was blocking. I was jamming, and I was trying to get through. And this guy smacked me up too. And when he smacked me up, I didn't hit the handrail, the one at the top. I hit the kick rail. This is what the one at the bottom. Mm-hmm. And I hit it face forward, and I slid down. And I remember my actual team, my home teammate here, she went with me. She was actually playing that game. She was like, oh my God, are you okay? The paramedics came. They checked on me. They're like, she might have a concussion. What I didn't know, which I was totally upset for 2 reasons, and I told Skatey this. One, I was mad that they cracked my helmet, because now that my helmet was cracked.
So hard it cracked her helmet. Yeah. Those are very hard.
From here to like almost the top, they cracked it. I was so mad because I was like, man, and I had other games that I had scheduled to play and teach lessons and stuff, like classes. And I was like, man, I really need a new helmet. So I had to go helmet shopping at like the shops, the vendors that they had there, which cost me an arm and a leg. But I ended up having to do that. So I was mad about that. Second, I was mad at my teammate, Mazzy Scar. I hate you for this, and I hope you hear this. I was mad at her because she's like, so she's a therapist, but she's also trained in like, you know, testing for concussions and stuff. So she's like, nah, dude, you have a concussion. I can't let you drink. And I was like, excuse me?
I'm in Vegas.
I'm in
Vegas?
Vegas?
Vegas of all places.
I was like, I have a bottle of whiskey in our room. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, no, dude, you just literally got hit in the head. You're not going to drink. I was so sour that whole day. And then she wouldn't even let me sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I couldn't sleep. And she's
you
like,
could die
wake
pretty.
up,
She's
wake up,
like,
wake up.
I want whiskey.
I was like, whatever, man. I don't hate Mazzy. No. But that one day, I was like, I don't like you right now. Not today. And so the next day when I was better and I looked at her and I was like, the president is Barack Obama. I was like saying all these things. I was like trying to, today's date is.
What year? What year?
Right? That's probably the wrong answers.
From?
I was like telling her all my concussion tests and she's like, okay, I think you can drink. And I was like, yeah. I think I can. And I did, and I went all out.
I was like, I knew I can since yesterday.
I was like, girl, we going to Fremont. We going all out. Because it was our last day. So
oh my gosh. To get a
so that was my second hardest hit, which ruined an entire trip.
But I'll tell you, I had a concussion too one time. And I didn't know it. Because it kind of came a little later. Mm-hmm. And I had a game. It was when we were in Houston. We were at the travel team.
Oh, that's right.
And I didn't know I hit my head hard. It's on video too. I just went, like, I felt weird right when the whistle blew. Like, the whistle blew, we were skating, but then I somehow tripped, and I just went, wow, like, right on the floor, and then I was a pivot at the time. So you see it perfectly in the video, because I have this stripe out on the panty, and you just see it, like, wow, and, it looked bad, and it felt bad. And then they came and they're like, are you okay? You don't have to be the hero. Don't be the hero. Are you dizzy? And I was like, I think just all the adrenaline from like a first game out of town, sure. I just didn't feel it. So I was just like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm tired. Like, I feel like winded, a little dizzy, but like no. And then whatever, I kept playing the game. And then after the games, I think we had a couple, we go and we kind of party with the other skaters from other teams and stuff. And I remember I went, and I was just, like, feeling off. I was just, like, overheated. I got a headache. And then I was like, oh, I'll take a tequila shot. Like, you know, that helps with everything. Your stomach hurts, tequila. Your head hurts, tequila. Whatever. You're sad, tequila. So I was like, okay, I'll take it. I took it, and I was like, oh, like, my headache's still here. I was like, I'll have a beer. I got a beer, and I just wasn't enjoying my drink.
Right.
Because I was just feeling bad. So going to her, I told her, even if you thought you could drink, it wouldn't go down smooth. It was just like a chore to drink, because I was like, no, I don't think I want it. Maybe a different beer. No. Like, just nothing was appealing because I felt bad. Right. My head hurt like crazy. And then I would like put my hands on my temples and I could feel the throb. And I was like, why do I have a headache? Forgetting I completely hit it, because I went the whole day, and then I had it for the rest of the week.
It's the adrenaline.
Yeah, the adrenaline. You don't feel nothing. Like, you do, but you don't. You probably felt a little dizzy. No, not in the moment. And then also, it was the first jam and I played the whole game and not feeling it until we're gonna relax. So I guess my state of like, all right, we're done, let's have a beer. Then everything rushed, and then I was confused for a week. I couldn't read. I could read, but I wasn't comprehending anything.
Right.
And then I wasn't nauseous. I wasn't throwing up, but I wasn't hungry. It was weird. And then weird. Also, side note on a concussion, little fun fact. I developed a sweet tooth, so I'm not a sweet. I don't like sweets. And then all of a sudden, when I was recuperating, I had to stay in the dark for a while, for like a week. I was like, I just want all the cake in the world. Like, I just wanted cake and all the pastries. Like, and I'm like, I never crave this. And then I spoke to, so I used to do hair, and I had a doctor. She was my client, and I was telling her about what happened to me. And then, and I was like, now I just want to eat cake. That's all I want to eat. And she's like, where did you hit yourself? And I was like, oh, it was right here. She goes, oh, it's your whatever medical term it is for this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, she's like, yeah, when you hit there, it'll change your appetite. And I was like, what? She goes, yeah. She's like, you used to eat cake or like sweets. And I was like, no, I don't care for it. Like, I'm a chips person. And she goes, yeah, it's because you hit yourself right there. I was like, what? So that was
science.
It was science. And I was like, how do I get it back? Do I hit myself on the other side, or what happened?
Do I have to knock it again?
Yeah.
To like not want it?
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. But I didn't crack my helmet. I just hit my head.
She's
really
like,
hard.
but you had to pay for the helmet.
But that's bad. And for her, you were like, just let me drink. No, me, I was like,
just let me
I want
eat
my
right.
mom. Like, my head hurt.
But here's the thing, though. Now that we're talking about injuries and stuff, May 12th. Don't get discouraged, because this is a fun
part of it.
It's
You
part
heal.
of it, though. You heal.
Good about our bodies. We
You
heal.
bounce back.
You bounce back, so don't get discouraged by us. We're talking nonsense. But
What injury? What were you going to say?
injuries, anything.
Oh, injuries in general.
Don't get discouraged by them.
Yeah. No.
But
Like-
then you were saying earlier too, before we started recording, before Ivy got here, that all the teams get along. Mm-hmm. But come game day,
Oh, I hate you.
you get your game
Yeah.
face
Me and
on.
Ivy are cool. We're friends.
This girl
You know,
came
have
to
some-
my house last
We
night,
hung out.
drank up all my liquor, and I
We're
was like,
shoot-
girl, it's good. It's all
We're
good.
shitting the bull. Come game day, I'm like, don't even look at me, Prettie.
Don't even
Like,
look at
don't
me.
even wink at me with those
your
beautiful eyes.
stupid, beautiful face.
Because if you're in my way on the track, I'm not holding back. We're
You
friends.
actually on the track. This is how malicious she is. On the track, I can be next to her. You and Maul do this to me a lot, and I laugh. Her co-captain and her do this all the time. So I'll be standing there. I have a game plan in my head, and you guys will tell your own teammates. You'll be like, "Yeah, dude, she's gonna hit you," and I'm just like, "Well, thanks for ruining the plan." Like, you guys are like that. And then when we're skating, you guys are very taunting. Yeah. Like, you guys are like, yeah.
If I know, but you know what I do also? I'm fair. I may be malicious. I may be a brute. But on the track, if it's someone small, we're on the apex, I'll be like, I'm going to hit you. And they're like, huh? Oh!
She does. It's so weird.
Because I want you to know I'm going to hit you, but also prepare yourself.
But it's weird that you do that
like,
because...
Hit you. Sorry.
It's a mind game at that point.
Not even that. Like, how do you have time to tell me that? Like,
because I calculated my hit. Because I'm just like, all right, I'm here, but when I get here, I'm going to hit her. So when I'm here, I'm like, I'm going to hit you. Huh?
Imagine being a skater that's skating, and then you hear somebody say, I'm going to hit you, and you're like, huh? And you're like, you don't even think about it.
Sorry.
And this one, too, is like, she's a yeller. She's like she likes to be like, inside, outside, and she'll psych us. I know you. I know your tricks.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, I do.
Maybe.
I just avoid you guys. I'm just like, just get through.
Yeah.
Just avoid them all.
Our game is going to be fun. April 27th is our next game. We're playing against the Sexecutioners. Like my team, Las Vidas Negras. We're going to play. So it's a very competitive game because last year we beat them. We're the championship. We beat them at the championship last year. So starting this new season, our first competitive team against team game.
It's like a rematch.
We're gonna rematch them. So it's like our way to keep our title, and then we'll still have it and up until the next championship. But it means a lot, and there's a lot of
their redemption. Or it could be yours.
Yes, we could just like. sustain
Holding
the
your
title. Yeah, and then like their redemption, and because they had two hurt girls last game.
Yeah.
One girl, Mazzy, it was the Wednesday practice before the Sunday game, and she hurt herself. Like she tore her sciatic nerve, tore off the bone. Yeah. And she was done.
But I give my teammate this. She came out strong with it.
Oh, 100%.
It took her some time to heal, but you know what? Like, I'm very like surprised. Like,
she's
now,
been self-healing with
she's
therapy.
Self-healing with therapy.
She didn't do the surgery.
And she's doing really good with it. And then, like, for me to see someone like that, it's just like, man, like,
but
that's a big...
It was just bad timing, you know, like, because it was right before the game, the championship game, and then...
The game everybody wants to play.
Everyone wanted, to play, like, we all look forward to it, and then, so that happened to her, and then during the game, again, someone else on their team, she fell so hard, she had a seizure. Mm-hmm. Were you there for that one, Adrian?
It was recently, right? Like a few months ago.
The last
October? October? And so then they were down another girl. So, like, the odds were against them for sure. Like, obviously, I don't like to see the girls hurt. Like, that sucks. No, like, if it happened to me, and then when I've never seen that happen. I've seen people have seizures, but, like, if she fell first and she was fine, and then all of a sudden she started just, like, convulsing. Like, all her body started shaking. She's this tiny little girl. Yeah, and then, so the medics we had to stop the game. The medics came, and they took her, and, again, not to scare no one, because she came back, she healed, and she's back. And she's going to play again.
May 12th. Come back. Join us.
She's going to play April 27th with us. But, yeah, definitely the odds were against them. And, you know, we had a full team. And so this is going to be a good game because, again, like a redemption for them. They got some of their girls back. But, yeah, so it'll be it's going to be fun, though, regardless. Like, I don't have full hate, but I'm just, like, I'm not going to hold back on game days. Yeah, I don't fully hate nobody. But if it's game day and you're in my way.
Afterwards, right?
Sorry.
But is there anybody where pre-game that you're like, oh man, I don't like going up against this person?
Oh yeah, all the time.
For sure. Because it's like, oh, we got to watch out for this person. We got to watch out.
I'm gonna really have to earn my.
You know right away when you step on. Like me, I'm more of a jammer. So when I step onto the jammer line, and I'll give you an example. If I see Skatey on the blocker line, you kind of have to think, okay, I see her. I'm going to have to avoid her. I have to strategize somehow. Yeah. And then you have to communicate, right? Like, yeah, you're like 20 feet in back of your blockers, but you have to communicate with your blockers too. You're like, hey, man, like, okay, help me out here.
Yeah.
You have to be able to strategize before that whistle blows.
How to handle that person.
How to handle that situation. So, yeah, there's been times.
But as teams, you'll know, like, for example, if I'm jamming and I see my blockers and then we see who went up from the other team, then we kind of look at each other like whatever. Like, and we kind of like talk to each other in our minds or like with our eyes, and we know exactly what to do. I don't know if that applies to your team.
Yeah, it does.
But I know our team, like, we can read each other by just looks. And that's also the fun of it. It's just like, okay, like Prettie's in here. Okay, like hold Prettie back so I can get through. You know, so it's definitely that we see who's up. It's like, okay, so it's those up. We know how to hit or how to block or how to jam. Mm-hmm. How to jam if you're gonna go fast.
I think that's the beauty about teams.
Yeah.
When you do mashups, right? So the mashups we have periodically throughout the season, and mashups consist of having all three teams that we have within the league. They're put into a hat and they're drawn, and they make two teams.
Split into two teams.
You know, so you have a little sprinkle of each person from each team. But then you have team games. So when you see mashups, everything's kind of chaotic, right? Because there's time I rarely skate with Skatey like on the same team.
We're so I don't. Each other.
Yeah, I never know how she skates, and it's always going to be a surprise. Yeah, you adapt to it, but it's always going to be a surprise. Whereas in a team game, so a game like on April 27th, we learn how to skate with our team. You know, you go to practices and how she said, it's like I could look at my teammate and do like a and then you're kind of like, got you. I know, right? Like, no. And then you're like, okay, left, right, side, go.
Prettie's drunk.
But yeah, all you have to do is that, and your teammate like automatically knows what you're talking
Like
about.
we know what to do.
Yeah.
Like with just looks, it's pretty cool.
But that's because you learn your team.
Yeah, you bond. Like we just bond together with each practice, league,
On
team
and
practice.
off the track.
That's why it's so important for practices, because you learn how each skater skates, and then like you know how to
mannerisms and
yes,
Mm-hmm.
we have our own lingos,
weaknesses,
yes.
where you got to step in. And...
Yeah, 100%. It's that, and it's cool because I can even do that with other skaters sometimes, where like, you know, that's not on my team. Like when we do mashups, I'll just be like hit her. You know,
I've done that, but then some people, they're like, what? And they're like, oh, forget it.
I remember one time I was jamming, and one of my blockers went up, and I looked. It was Jazzy at the time, and then Jazzy was on the inside, and we looked at each other. I looked at the blocker line. She looked at the blocker line. She looked at me, because I'm behind her, and then she's standing like this, like because she was on the inside of the track, and then the other blockers are here, and I'm jamming. And she looks at she looks at me, and then she went like this on her leg. That meant take the inside.
Take the
So once the whistle blew, boom, it worked out so perfect. She had him up on the top that I skated the inside like nobody's business. And then like we just having this strategy, her and I, and then at the end I was like, Jasmine, she goes, that was so good. I was like, that was awesome. And you know, like we just do it, and we didn't plan it. It's not like baseball where we're like,
that's what I was trying to do.
I know, but you went like this. It's not like baseball, you know, that we're just like.
It kind of is like baseball, okay?
But the face was different.
Right.
So, you know, like it's not, we don't have that. It's just, it happened. It just did. And it was just like a thing I knew what to do. I already knew what to do when she just, no one knew. No one found out what we did until the end, and then we told everybody else, like, because Jasmine slapped her leg, and I just knew. And so, yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm really proud of that moment. I wish it was recorded. But...
It was just organically. You guys
I felt like you did it like a horse. You're like...
No, Jazzy just slapped her just twice. Boom, boom. And I was like, okay.
You know what I was just thinking right now, too? I've been told a lot. I sound like Yoshi when I jam.
You sound like
Yoshi? It's because when I'm jamming and I'm trying to avoid, right? Because I'm what they call a sneaky jammer. Right. I'm a sneaky jammer because I'm smaller. I try to, like, maneuver quick.
Like weaves around.
So I weave around. And so I've been told that when I weave around and, like, let's say I'm trying to avoid you, I go, woohoo! And then I move. So someone pointed that out the other day, and I was just like, and then I heard it during one of the games, and I was just like, oh my god, I do sound like Yoshi.
Yoshing. I've never heard it, but also with this sport, again, like how we play the game, and then afterwards we go to the after party, and some things I remember, but for the most part, it's a blur because of the adrenaline. And sometimes they'll just be like, you know, after that, like, dude, you hit me so hard. And I was like, when? Which one? It was the jam when you, and I'm like, was I there? Like, I don't remember. Like, because it happened so fast.
You forget.
I don't hear nothing. I don't even hear Wolfman or MC. I don't hear a lot of what he says or even the crowd. Sometimes, though, I will hear my family.
Same.
Mostly my dad when he goes. I just hear my dad go, Susie, hit him. Hit him. He doesn't call me by my skater name, so it's okay. It's my dad. He'll be like, Susie, hit him. Hit him. And that's all I hear. But then I'm like, that makes me laugh, Dad. Like, laughing's my weakness. Like, I can't laugh and swim. I can't laugh and eat. Like, I'll die. Like, it's hard. So I'm just like, don't make me laugh, Dad. But okay, I'm going to be this tough girl. I'll be this tough girl for you, Dad.
So not just family, but the whole audience gets all involved in it?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes, they
exciting.
do. Yeah, like, Adrian has had the front row with, like, I know him being my friend coming to the games. And he doesn't just come to my games. He comes just to go sometimes if I'm not playing. And then also our other friends, and yeah, we all get into it, and them too. My friends, some circle, they won't call me Skatey, they'll call me by my name. So I will hear them sometimes. Like sometimes I'll hear Abner, go Susie, go on the inside. It's like he gets real into it. And he'll be, he'll be, like.
But even like
And I'll be
besides
like,
family
Abner?
and friends, like even people we don't even know.
Well,
Yeah.
the usuals that show up.
Yeah, I've had
Yes.
people that I remember one game I was skating and they're like, "Go, Pretty, go!" And I looked and I was like,
Yes. I don't
"Who
know
the
you.
hell are you?"
Yes.
Like you don't know these people, but you know it's cool. It's cool because
It's
they get so
super cool.
invested.
And
know?
that's how you build the fans that they
Yeah.
come and they see this one team play against another team and then they decide that they like the team. I remember one game where we won against the Diablos one year, and I think because we were kind of like the underdogs at that time, and it was a good game and we needed to beat them to play the championship. I think it was, and I remember I was either the last or second to last jammer, and people that I didn't know were just cheering us like, go, 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 yes. And I would like afterwards I stopped the jam because that was my first time ever making 15 points, which is kind of rare. It was my first time ever. And then I remember I stopped, and when I stopped I heard that the crowd hyped me like afterwards, and I remember taking off the panty because I was a jammer. I took off the panty and I was like, ah! And I remember looking at the stand and I'm just seeing like this people just like cheering me on, and I was like, I don't know anybody. That day none of my family went, none of my friends went. It just so happened they couldn't go. But I remember just seeing them, and it just like hyped me. It hyped me so much because I was just like, you guys don't even know who I am, but you're cheering me. I love you. And they got excited for the game, and we ended up winning. We did end up winning, but yeah, like.
Well, that's how you know you're doing something right, whenever they call you guys out by your name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like people get invested.
And then they buy T-shirts.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's
another
awesome.
thing. You'll see people that literally had just bought a T-shirt and they'll put it on.
Yeah, they'll put it on during the game.
And then you'll be like, that's the wrong T-shirt.
I do. Like, sometimes during the games,
This one does this all the time. You did that to my friend. He was wearing a sexy gear, like, yeah, that doesn't say Las Vidas Negras.
You're wearing the wrong shirt.
You're wearing the wrong shirt.
You don't look good in pink. You look good in green.
I
All
was like,
saleswoman.
Shit.
Yeah, but so they go and they buy them, and then even, which is also cool, we get little fans, like the kids, that they decide they like the skaters, so then they like the team, and then because we sell merch at the games, and then we have kid sizes also, and so yeah, they'll go and buy it, and then sometimes during halftime they're like, my daughter wants to take a picture. I'm like, oh, yes, okay, like it's so
that.
precious. It's so precious. And then they're like, I want to skate too, and I'm like, yes, you should, but when you're 18. Yeah, because they want to start now, but no, 18 and over.
Sometimes I scare kids though. Like some kids.
Because Prettie does some wild makeup
I
too.
do.
She's really good at it.
So my thing for derby, going into rituals, right? But for derby, when I play, I love to do what we call as battle makeup. So I get inspired, one, by the themes of the games. So like whatever theme we have, which I haven't even thought of this one yet, which is Wicked. Never seen the movie, but I'm trying. I'm sorry, I could only get through like 15 minutes of it.
It's too much singing.
But
I recently watched it.
I'm still thinking, right? Because we're pink, we're supposed to be like
Glenda.
what? Glenda.
Right.
I'm the Wicked.
And she's yours is easy, man.
But we're already green, so perfect.
I might as well just paint my face green, but then I'll look like the Hulk. But
that's why I don't want to paint my face green.
Yeah, I thought about
like
that
She-Hulk.
too. I'll be She-Hulk, yeah. But I do like battle makeup, so I love to do based on the theme. So whatever theme it was, I'll do battle makeup. I also like to incorporate the colors of the team that I'm playing against. So since we're playing against the green, I like to incorporate green to my face.
Not me, I hate pink. Just kidding.
You'll wear pink, and you'll love it.
Just kidding.
But I just like to, I think my best makeup, honestly, was when, I know it's sad, right? But August 3rd. August 3rd was probably my best makeup. So August 3rd was the Walmart shooting. And we did a game where our charity was actually the kids from the soccer team. They were our charity for that game. And for that game, obviously that doesn't have a theme, right? So it didn't really have a theme. It was just a charity game. And I think for that game, that was probably my best makeup. It was... I did the state of Texas, and
Yes.
I know you're laughing because I'm like that girl from Mean Girls where it's like
She did it backwards.
I did it backwards.
In the mirror?
Yes.
And
And
we're
you know
like,
who, of all people to point it out to? This one. But it was my
happened?
best makeup.
it was cool, but I was like,
It was like the K, and you're just like, and it came out perfect.
Texas was backwards.
But yeah, it was
then-
Texas. It was it had Texas backwards. Sorry.
The state
it
of
had
Texas. The state
it
of
had
Texas
a
backwards.
diamond on the
El
part of
Paso.
El Paso, and then stars that went around for each victim.
Right.
So that's what I did for
Pretty
that
neat.
makeup. The last makeup I did too was my grandfather's. That was
yeah.
actually mean a lot to me.
But also she wears contacts.
Oh yeah,
that
I
are
wear contacts all the
spooky.
time.
She scares me. I'm like, why do you look so scary?
Which is weird because I wear contacts and I'm actually really blind. We were having this conversation.
Yeah.
When I play, I'm blind. As long as I can see colors, like I'm like, okay, she's my girl.
Figure out who's who.
But I don't know who that person is. Like I'm not that blind, but I'm just like, okay, pink, got it. You know?
You had that cool makeup too that's on your social media where you had the zombie
Yeah.
makeup. That was pretty
Yeah.
neat.
Also, her team tends to put, because they're executioners, so they put like a little like
Skull.
skull right here, like next to their cheek, on their cheek. I'm sorry. Kind of looks like Two-Face. You know how his teeth show? It's like that, but with
Yeah,
them with
the
pink.
one I'm talking about, that's what it looked like, and it was traced in black, I think, so it looked kind of like comic booky.
Yeah, I was doing like a zombie comic book. I
That
went
was
for
pretty neat.
that. I love doing makeup. Like that's just
Yeah.
this is like the one time I get to like really use my creative makeup
she's
side.
really good at it.
But
What's my ritual? We don't have ritual. What we do is that
girl, I know your ritual, but we won't talk about
Not,
it.
she doesn't know my secrets. No, our team, we tend to get together game day and like get ready together. So like we'll help with if someone needs braids in their hair or someone needs makeup. I'm like, oh, we have extra green eyeshadow here, or like, do you need help doing this or that? And so we all get together. I'll buy the girls like Gatorades, waters, like fruit, like just different things that are good for game day, or like electrolyte stuff. One time I made like pastas just so they can get some carbs in, and so I tend to do that with my team, and we all get together and just whoever can, right? Because not everyone can. Sometimes they work and then go from work straight to the game,
Which is crazy.
I could never. I mean, I could, but it's awful. But yeah, so that's what we do as our team. Like we just get together and bond, and then we start talking about the game, and then how we say, you know, you gotta watch out for Prettie, or you gotta watch out for
You
for
communicate.
this skater, that skater, and we just kind of go, and it's like, do you guys have your lineup? Because we also make well, my team does. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
We make lineups. So basically, who's gonna go up on what jam, which blockers will go up, which jammer is gonna go up, and so, you know, it's like, oh, what jam are you in? Oh, I'm with you. And so just like things like that. I don't do too much. I do kind of war paint. I just like to do a green mask like this, and whatever. But I always thought it looked good up until recently. My mom's like, you can never tell you do it. I'm all, oh, this whole time, Mom? This whole time? Like 10 years later, you told me you couldn't even see my makeup? I was like, well, to me it looked good, but that's really it. Some girls have special socks. Some girls have special underwear. Some girls don't wear underwear.
No, you know which one gets to me the most? There is one ritual that I don't understand it. Girls will not wash their gear until the end of the season.
I haven't washed my gear.
Wow.
Not that I don't want to. I just haven't. Because washing gear, you don't just throw it in the freaking washing machine.
Fungus! You're a nurse, man. What else developed?
Ringworm.
Ringworm.
Well, I haven't gotten it. But it's not that I don't mean to, but it's because, like, once the season is over, my skate stuff is just there. And then it's like, oh, season's starting up again. I just grab it, and I'll be like, oh, it smells like last year.
Staph infections, no?
Mm-mm.
Staph
Staph?
Bacteria, fungal.
Thank you.
virus,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wash my gear before every game.
I don't. Oh, hell no. No.
Well, you can
I
go.
wash
You
it?
live not that far from me. Just bring me your gear. I will
she's
wash
the
it
washing
for
machine.
you.
No, I started washing it by myself, and it's a process. So, like, I put it in a big, like,
Just think
bin.
of the fans that hug you after the match, though.
I know. I'm over here hugging you, congratulating
No, I got
you.
derby stank. That's a thing.
Derby stank.
The derby stink.
It
And my
is a
smell
thing.
bows. I get smell bows because, like, my elbows like smell the worst, and sometimes my wrist guards. But I'll wash it and I'll soak it in like Odoban and not bleach, but like Odoban and detergent, like this whole concoction. I just let it soak, and then I kind of like, and then I let it dry in the sun, and then but that's the whole process, and then it lasts for a while, and then sometimes after a practice I spray my gear with Odoban to like disinfect and the odor and stuff like that. So it's not, I don't have to wash it every time.
Or you can.
No. No.
I'll
And
wash
then,
it for you, girl.
no, I can't. And then, but yeah, because I was washing them in the wash machine, but then the Velcro started to not work anymore. So that's why I have to do it by myself. So I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I do it by hand. And it's a
Mine's
whole,
still
it's,
sticky.
it's a whole day because I soak it for a long, I do hot water, do the detergent, mix it, wash it, and then let it, and I let it, till the water gets cold. Then I rinse it out because it's all full of soap and all that stuff. And then out in the sun for however long it takes, if it's hot enough. Usually it is in the
That's
summer.
my ritual. Wash your gear.
I do need to wash it now. I just saying I haven't. And I smelled myself yesterday. I was like, ooh, a little ripe here.
I know you got
And
it.
then
I was like,
went to
girl,
Prettie's
no.
house.
I was like, dude, we should. That's why we really stayed at the patio, because I was like,
She's like, no, I don't want your smell in my house. We're gonna sit outside. We did. We sat outside, and it felt good.
Stinky Perry.
Yes.
Stinky.
Oh, here we go. Another
there
one.
we go.
Adrian's giving me so many different derby names today. What was the other one you said? No, not Stinky Perry. It was.
I can't remember.
It was. It's all with the nose. No, I give myself a different derby name at practice. I'm Sweaty Betty. Like it's so sweaty and hot. Like it's hot in that arena. It gets really hot in the summer and really cold in the winter. And yeah, just like I'm Sweaty Betty today. And that's my practice name.
And from the videos I saw on YouTube before you guys came over yesterday and today in the morning, you guys have the actual tracks. I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Because I imagine once I go see you guys on the 27th, that's gonna add to the aesthetic of the whole event. I would imagine it's you guys having the track is gonna be pretty fun.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, the way I always describe to people in El Paso, like, go support, like,
Local.
Borderland Roller
Yeah, for
Derby.
sure.
Reason being is, and this is a story I tell everybody, because I can't emphasize it enough. So bank track roller derby, that's the actual oval size slanted track that you see. You know, that track does not come very often. Before COVID, there was maybe 11-ish, right? Like 11-ish established leagues that had bank tracks in the United States.
In the U.S.
That's it. 11. El Paso being one of the 11. When COVID hit, unfortunately, a lot of leagues lost their tracks. They lost their venues. They had to store their tracks. Just recently, right now, San Diego is losing their bank track because of their venue. And it's sad because, you know, bank track is just so scarce right now. Like, there's not a lot of it. Yeah. So I always tell people from El Paso, I'm like, you guys have a bank track. Yeah. You know, it went from 11 to after COVID, maybe 5.
Yeah.
In the United States.
Really
These
sad.
are 5 leagues that are still working today, operating today. You know, and the good thing about El Paso is that our track has not gone anywhere. Our track is still in the El Paso Coliseum, judging arena. You know, we've not lost our venue.
Yeah.
You know,
they
like,
really worked with us.
They worked with us a lot. Other places, yeah, they still have their track, but they can probably only set it up only game days. They don't even get to practice on it.
Yeah.
And the only time you see bank track is honestly when there's tournaments being held, or during like RollerCon in Las Vegas. You know, they have a bank track and they host games there as well. So it's very historical to me. That the fact that El Paso has a bank track league. Yeah. And the fact that if you're not out there supporting it, yeah, then these girls can't do it. You know, these girls can't demonstrate what its capabilities, what their capabilities are. So, I mean, if you have the opportunity, the time, go see a bank track team. You know, go see a bank track game. And really bask in the fact that it is historical, that it's not very common here. It's not very common anywhere right now.
Yeah. It's not. I think it's in Texas. It's us in Austin. Oh no, in Houston.
Houston, Austin, and El Paso.
But I think also one of the leagues, yeah, they practice flat track on a roller rink locally, and then
That's Houston.
And then game days they play on the track, which is different because like your muscles are different on the track, and then on flat track it's just you use them different, and so I don't know how they do it. Like yeah, we're are very lucky that we get to use it all the time, most of the year.
So whenever you guys practice, does every team go at the same time to practice, or do you guys have your designated dates where this team goes on this day?
So Mondays and Tuesdays we have what are known as our league practice days. So when fresh meet starts, our new skater intake starts, they'll practice from Monday and Tuesday from 6 to 7:30. And then from 7, because we try to incorporate the veterans and the fresh meat together for at least 30 minutes. So from 7 to 9, we have the veterans that come in and they do their practice. On Mondays solely, we try to do what is called a scrimmage night. So we try to get these girls prepared as far as like, a game. Yeah. We try to refresh ourselves on the rules. We try to refresh ourselves on like playing the game. So on Mondays we'll do that from like 8 to 9. So Mondays and Tuesdays are really dedicated to all teams coming together and practicing with one another. Then we do have our own team practices. So like I know Skatey and I, like we have the same day. We just we practice from 6 to 7:30, and then when we're done, her team comes in and then they take over theirs. And then we have the Diablas who practice on Thursday. So we try to get as much skate time. And I never discourage, and I'm sure Skatey as well, like if for whatever reason I can't make my team practice but I need skate time, I'll ask her. I'll be like, hey man, would you mind if I like crash in your team practice, and vice versa if she needs to crash in mine. Like we try to make it like a camaraderie. Like it doesn't matter whether we're on different teams, like we're trying to just better ourselves. So we try to focus on just getting ourselves prepared for a game for the safety of not only ourselves but others as well.
Yeah, it boosts morale too to just not just only be in your team and just seclude yourself to just that. Like that's why the league is there, where we all just get together and learn how to skate with one another. Another. Shut up. One another, and then just kind of also like a fellowship, just hanging out with each other and talking about it. And some girls are like, hey, I like how you do this, can you teach me? And it's it's fun. Like, and the scrimmages help too, to just kind of break out of your shell of just skating with your team. You get to skate with other teams to just be more versatile in your skill. That's how I see it.
No, I agree with you on that.
I think it's perfect that you guys have your events on Sundays too. That way you don't compete with concerts that are coming into town or any other big events. It gives people something to do on Sundays. Yeah,
and it's kid friendly, and it's pretty early. It starts at 6, ends at 8. Pretty easy. Leave, put the kids to bed, or shower, then kids to bed, and then start your day Monday. Yeah, I agree. Same thing with like how we're sponsored by Hope and Anchor this season, and so that's why they love us too, because their Sundays are like kind of dead, and then we show up, and it's not just us skaters. We bring our friends, we bring our families, and they show up, and then they also have a restaurant. And I was recently talking to one of the people that worked that works at the restaurant Sabretooth, which is next to Open Anchor. They're like, man, we used to be so dead up until the Derby came. And actually, when I was talking to this person, they didn't know I was in Derby.
Is it post-event that you guys go to Hope and Anchor?
Yes, okay. Right after our game.
Every game, our after parties. Show up to Hope and Anchor, 4012, Mesa.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know. It's like engraved in my head because I do all the graphics and the flyers. But every game we show up to Hope and Anchor, and that's the time that we just kind of chill with one another because like we have like that tension, right? It's the game, competitiveness. But after parties, it's like, relax. Like, girl, you hit me hard. Yeah. Like, that sucked. Or, you know what? Yeah. I got beef with you on that third job. You know, like.
I'll be like, why were you in my way, Prettie?
Yeah, we just hash it out, and then we get, our drinking started, and we just have fun, and we meet people too.
Drinks start flowing. Yes.
You know how many
and we
times
recruited people from Open Anchor.
last
Draft
event,
party.
I'm over here like on the table, and I'm just enjoying myself, and then I have this one. I got you a new recruit, and I was like, oh man, hold on.
Now she has to work.
I was like, well, because I was hurting. I was like, okay, hold on. And then I met them. And, you meet people that see you in your full gear. And they're just kind of like, oh, my God,
Who
I didn't know
are
about
you?
roller
What are you
derby.
doing?
And then they get interested. And then you're like, please show up. And you're not just drunk and you do want to go.
Yeah. And also a lot of people, they think that we don't exist anymore. Because sometimes I'll show up to the store, like sometimes before going to the game. I'll be like, oh, we need to go get some water or ice. And so I went to the Albertsons, and me and one of my teammates, we had our jerseys on. And they're like, are you guys in the roller derby? And we're like, yeah. They're like, I thought it stopped after COVID or whatever. We're like, no, we have a game today. You can go. They're like, I'm working. I'm like, quit.
You
Quit.
get
You
roller
can go.
derby?
Huh? Yeah.
You know what people told? I got two things.
What?
One, I've been told I look like a wrestler. And two, my neighbor actually thought I was a stripper. Like, legit. I told me, she's like, do you strip? And I was like, no, it's my roller, because I'm always in my undies.
Her chonies.
My chun. It's because that's how I skate.
Yeah, she skates in her chonies.
I have to skate freely.
Well, it's not chonies. It's like...
I guess it's wrestling gear. Whatever.
Yeah, I could see the wrestling thing. But no, because I don't wear that. But, yeah, they'll see me, and then our names, and then our numbers, and then they're like, oh, are you... And then they ask, are you with the track or the other one? And it's like, no, yeah, we're in the bank track. Oh, okay, yeah, my daughter's been wanting to go, or I want my daughter to join. Yes, heck yes, let me give you a flyer. And so, yeah, like, and then, yeah, same thing. They're like, oh, I thought it stopped, or... And then what I really like is when they're like, is it on TV still? Well, no.
Online?
I was like, maybe online. I go, no, they don't televise it. And then they're like, oh, do you get paid for it? I'm all, I pay to play. I
It's
pay
like
to
a
play.
gym membership.
I was like, eventually. And then they're like, oh, yeah. And they tell me their story. So it's cool. Like, you network on accident. I always network on accident.
I do too, a lot.
In the stores and stuff. Or not just even my jersey. I wear, like, our hoodies, which are with our names. And they're like, Skatey Perry, what does that mean? I'm all, that's me.
I think I turn more heads because it's executioner, so they're like, ooh, and they're just like, it's a roller derby league. And then they don't get interested in my name, but I was like, okay, well, that's
roller derby.
So your last game last season, he had actually brought it up that we should go, and I was like, yeah, I want to, but it turned out to be on a weekend. I was out of town.
Oh, boo.
So,
but you're coming to this next
Yeah,
one.
this
next
next
April 27th.
Again, I'm flying in that day early from my work here. I'm going to fly in on the 27th, so I should be here, I think, about noon that day.
Oh, cool.
Good, because doors open at 5.
Doors open at 5, whistle blows at 6.
Now you sound like the flyer. Doors open at 5, game starts at 6, halftime is usually at 7.
Oh, yes, our halftime show is No Suffer. They're kind of a well-known band in El Paso, a metal band. And two of the girls...
Actually, your team and my team.
Yeah. Have
spouses.
their spouses in the band. So it's like a double. Pretty cool.
And you guys always have a band in between?
In between halftimes,
Yeah,
yes.
and that's the thing. That's a cool thing about Derby is that we try to, well, two things. So we try to help out not only local talent, but even vendors and stuff. So something that came new as last year, we started doing vendors. We used to do concession stands, but unfortunately we wanted to broaden more with helping out the local community, so we went ahead and started doing vendors. So if you know or you are in the business, you guys can all come contact me on Facebook, Instagram. My number is plastered everywhere. I already know that I get weird calls all the time. I'm used to it.
I'm going to get my buddy's band, Letters from Wolves, here next time I'm home. So maybe their band could play. I'll have them reach out to
Actually,
you.
I spoke to Adam, and he
Okay,
was
good.
asking me when I had an opening. So I actually
Nice.
have to get back. I'm so sorry. I have to get back to him because he did message me and he asked me when I had an opening free. So I will probably message him today because I just found
That'll
out.
be cool. And then I've got my buddy Ramsey has a lemonade truck.
Yes, we love
Lemonade
lemonade.
sounds like crazy.
And food trucks. We also have food
Yeah.
trucks that can come as well if you know many people with food
So
trucks.
we're always looking for vendors to come out into our games, and then bands. We're always looking for bands as well. If we have an opening for any of the months, then I let you know. And if you're interested in doing that month, the month is yours. We advertise you on our flyers, our posters.
Excuse me.
No, you're fine. We advertise you, and then there you go.
We advertise for our sponsors and the vendors and the band, which is pretty cool. I think more exposure. Like we need to be known.
Hell yeah, you do, because like you were saying earlier, you're one of the only leagues that has the track.
Yeah.
That's amazing that it's here in El Paso. Yeah, it gives everybody in El Paso something different to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. 18 and over. Got to specify that 18 and over. Any age after that, because everyone's like, I'm like, tell your mom, tell your grandma. My grandma's too old. No, she's not. She can join too.
If grandma can skate, she can do anything. But that's the cool thing about roller derby too, especially with our league. Like, it's not only just us on the track. Like, we try to broaden a lot with what we do with the community, you know. This is something I had spoke to the girls at the beginning of the season too. Like, my bigger interest when I do stuff, like promoting or just helping out the community, I love to do schools. Like, that's just my thing. Skatey's actually done one with me. I love doing schools. I love doing elementary, middle school. I haven't done a high school yet, so if there's a high school out there, let me know. I've even done like adult daycare centers. I love to do schools, and it's cute because the one that Skatey and I did, it was during the STARS test.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was during the STARS test. These kids were about to start testing that week, so they had us come in and they had us like doing tricks. They had me jump over their principal.
Yeah. And the kids love it.
And they love it. Like, they
Yeah,
enjoy
it's
it
really
so
fun.
much. And I think
Prettie
that's
jumped
what I
over
love.
the principal.
Yeah, I was so scared to jump over that
She
man.
did like two people.
Yeah.
It was like the principal and someone else, and then just the principal, and the kids are like, woo!
And then you guys were like, oh.
I know, I'm like, don't fall.
no.
Don't fall, Prettie.
But it's fun. Like, I love
if you
playing with-
overthink it. And
Yeah, if you
nothing should
overthink
happen.
it.
Because I don't do jumps tricks like that. She does. And so I'm just like, you do it. You do it, girl.
I'm more of the jumper / I love hula hoop.
Stunt woman.
She's
Mazzy
more of
too.
my hype man.
Yeah. It's like,
She'll hype me up, and then I'll be like, got it.
I remember Prettie was like, if I do this, you guys are all going to pass the STAR test, right? And they're like, yeah.
I know. All the kids
Jumped
are
over
so
the
cute.
principal. It was cute.
But I love doing schools. I love doing all of that. And then I also have done, like I told you, adult daycare centers. Like, just working with people, working with the community. That's probably my better thing. But that's the beauty about our league, is that not only do we do roller derby and we hit each other and we, you know, we have all this fun on the track, but we love to help out our community
But
as
it
well.
goes to show, like for schools, especially with the little girls, it goes to show there's an outlet for everything, and there's something you can join where everybody belongs.
Yes.
Yeah.
People of all shapes and sizes are there, and people of all personalities are there, and like you would think with football, you've got to be at your most athletic for the most part, all this or that, whatever. This is something that everybody or every girl can join and partake in and have fun and have that camaraderie, like you guys were mentioning the whole episode.
And that's
Yeah.
the thing. When I did a school, I want to say it was a downtown school. We did a school, and I remember this. There was a little girl, and she was this cute little girl. And the thing was is that she she was like, I could tell like she was very invested in what we were doing, like the tricks, learning about roller derby, learning about skating and stuff. So I remember I was called back to the school about a week later. The principal had called me, said that she had a package for me, and I was just like, okay. So I showed up to the school. I got the package, and I think I have a photo of it. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Maybe.
But I got a photo of it, and all the kids that were there during my presentation send me a bunch of letters.
Aww.
And I cried like a little baby because I have such a soft spot for kids. So I cried because I'm reading each letter. I'm at like my day job. So I'm here reading each letter, and I saw that letter of that little girl, and the reason being is because she had her photo on the picture of her. So she drew me a picture of a skate, and then she drew me a stick figure. And she wrote to me, and she told me, she was just like, you, like in her own way, but basically like, you make me want to be a cool superhero, like something like that.
Oh, that's so cute.
And I was like, I remember I was like crying. I was texting Mazzy actually. I was like, but yeah, it's like stuff like that. It warms your heart, especially with kids. And yeah, like
It's impactful.
it's impactful.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's cool because again, all of us at some point in life we want to belong to something or other, whether it be a group, a team sport, or whatever. And that's that right there with you guys.
yeah.
You really do find yourself. I know I did, and some of the girls too. And there's a saying that's out there that's called "Derby saved my soul."
Oh, I'm crying. What the fuck?
Oh no!
Don't cry, because you're gonna
That
make
was
me
cool.
cry.
That was a cool story.
It was heartwarming for sure. But yeah, because some girls, we're all from different lives. We all have a story, and some girls come again because they've joined because they've either hit their lowest, or there's different stories, right? They just want to try it. They love skating, but some girls come in because they're like one of my girls, I'll say, her mom had passed away, and then she was just like, I feel so low, like I need something for myself, and then she joined Derby, and then she just she's told me and our team, she's like, Derby saved my soul. Like I didn't think I could go any longer without my mom. Of course, me neither. She's like, and I joined Derby, and she's like, and I just found this whole new sisterhood with you guys that like I'm so proud to be here, and I'm so proud to skate. And it happens a lot. Like all girls have that, and I'm glad that we have that we have this outlet for a lot of girls and myself to come and skate and then be a part of something that's fun and impactful, and that we do give back to the community sometimes, and vice versa. Like these people give back to us in little ways, but like Derby's very important in my life. And
Again,
I feel
when they're chanting your names and
yeah, I mean, it's not just that. I think it's just the fun of it too. Like, yeah, that helps, but it's just I don't know. I do feel very proud to skate, and because not a lot of people can. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's a privilege to be able to do what we do, and because not everybody can, or don't have the time, or whatever the case that's happening to them. So I think it's just Derby has saved my soul in that sense, where I did find a sisterhood. I did find my place. I found out who I am, and not just help by skating builds confidence with me. And I know with a lot of my girls too, that they've come from different backgrounds, and it's just like, I'm so happy I'm here, and I'm like, I'm happy you're here. We love you.
See, and it's people like Skatey, like tying back to the beginning, how you were telling me like I do all this stuff. I honestly like, and I've told you before, like I do what I do because of people like Skatey, because of people like within our league, like how she was mentioning, there's so many backstories of women, of why they joined. I've had people that are single mothers. I have people that are going through divorces. I have people that are going through deaths in the family, friends, whatever the case may be. They're going through something in their lives that they found something else to kind of call home, like a home away from home. And for me, it is heartwarming, and it keeps me going. Whenever I feel so low, right? I'm at home and I'm like, here's Skatey again, texting me, bugging. But you know what?
Como chinga.
I know. Como chinga.
Sorry.
But you know what? I
Sorry.
do it. And I've told her, I was like, I love you, but damn, girl. But no.
Yeah. She does.
I do what I do because of people like her. They do still have that passion. They still have that drive. And it's for them that I do this. Because without Derby, I honestly feel a lot of these women wouldn't be where they're at today. Myself included. I came from such being a shy girl. You know, certain things I would say or do. But then it can't shut me up now. Like, you know,
Or
again,
me.
Valley Girls never die. But I'm going to make that a t-shirt on me. But that's just the thing. Like, me in my position, I do it for people like her. I do it for people like within their league. And that's why I love it too. I love what I do, and I love skating. I love skating. Not only do I love managing, but I love skating.
Yeah.
I
Same.
like the empowerment I feel. It gives me a sense of purpose, you know, as far as like feeling low to feeling high off of it, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
Kind of makes me think the way you were saying people with different reasons come into it. Kind of makes me think about like how people, they might get out of a relationship or they might get divorced, what have you, and they do something out of their normal, like get a tattoo or something.
yeah.
You know, but this is more of a constant thing where you're there constantly practicing and then having your events, and yeah, it's pretty neat. That's intense.
Oh yeah, because
Life changing.
It is. It's life. It's a lifestyle change. I want to say because it's such a commitment. Like, people be like, "Oh, we have to whatever on Wednesday." I'm like, "Ooh, can't have practice that day." And you're like, "You can't move it." No, like it's such
You
a part of my life.
prioritize Derby.
I'll only do it special occasion, like okay, it's someone's birthday, like a friend or my dad, or family. But like other than that, I'm like, oh no, I can't. I can do this day or this day or this day. Like like I work my schedule around Derby, and
Same.
that's how like I'm committed
I
to
literally
it.
just dropped off my car because it's not working now, and I even told like, I was like, you know what, just do what you gotta do in my car. Here I come. Like I gotta do a podcast. Like that was me because Derby is something you prioritize like without thinking about it.
I took today off to do this.
Yeah, she did. She told me, and I was like, "You took it off? I thought you were just gonna come with me, but okay."
No.
Well, I'm glad you guys did, because this has been fun so far for sure. And again, we're just a little podcast getting started, you know, and you guys are helping me out, and in return too, like I'm gonna broadcast this as far as and wide as I can, but also any events that you guys have, if you guys ever want to come back and re-promote or whatever in the event, let me know.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Like
we're different girls to talk your ear off. I
I
know.
know.
Me and Prettie, you got the most chattiest girls today.
Good. like I find myself like I'm not really talking today, but it's cool because I'm interested in what you guys had to say too.
I know. I'm just like, am I talking too much?
No, not at
Should
all.
we shut? Should we be
No,
quiet?
this is better because again, I'm here to showcase you guys, you know, not myself. Like I want to hear everything you guys have to say. So it was great, you know.
Yes, we'll
So,
definitely be back if you will have us.
We got a lot of events coming, so we'll probably be back.
prepared. Don't worry,
Yeah.
I'm bugging you.
And if you get the same tooth, well, good luck. That's on you.
I'm good.
Be here forever.
Drink up all your rope.
It's there.
It's there.
But yeah, real quick to close off the episode, and you already gave a couple of reasons, but tell girls why they should join roller derby.
Why? Because, really, what I love the most, on top of our track, but it's, again, the sisterhood that you build with these girls, and just, I feel like it's like a workout without working out, because I'm having so much fun. You know that saying, time flies when you're having fun. All of a sudden, like, I show up at 7, and all of a sudden it's freaking 9:10, 9:15. I'm like, whoa, it's over? Like, I have to go home now? Like, I just got here. It flies by so fast, because, again, it's a workout, but you're having so much fun. And then on top of that, you get to skate with your friends, you get to talk with your friends, you get to play with your friends. Like, it's such a really great outlet if you're wanting to just release, like me, I my boring work job and 9 to 5 job, and then afterward, I'm just like look forward to derby because I'm just like I just can't wait to just release my stress on the track and then just have fun, yes, and skate and learn new tricks or new ways of blocking and jamming. And I think it's just a great outlet because no matter what kind of day I have, once I get on that track, I forget because I leave it at the door because I'm like, I'm not here. I just need to relax. I need to release my anger or whatever the case may be. But I think it's a good outlet and hobby to do. It's all the things. It's fun. It's a workout. It's making friendships with not just the girls, because like I meet Prettie, and then I meet her friends, and then I meet the boyfriends, and we end up just building this big group. And I think and also a safe space for girls, because sometimes they don't know what to do, and it's just like, join derby, like it'll change your life. It really is life changing. So that I think I think sorry, I think they should join it to also, for me speaking for myself, it built my confidence as just a person in general.
That's badass.
I think my response to that question is why not? Like, why not join derby? Like, it's something different. It's something unique.
Anybody can go to the gym.
Yeah. I can go to the gym and I'll be fine with it, but then I go to derby and it's how she was saying. It's fun. Like, you're not realizing that you're working out, and then time flies and you're like, but I was just having fun, like, it's one of those things that you want to it's a good way of really testing yourself too, like, for me, I tested my abilities and realized I still got a long way to go.
Same.
There's people out there that are like, I can't do it because I'm too short, I'm too tall, I'm wider than most girls, or I'm skinnier than most girls, and it's like, no. Like, I've seen smaller girls than me knock me out or knock out a bigger person.
Like the story you were saying earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all about technique, and it's all about training, and it's all about practice. I encourage girls to test your body and go beyond your limits, because you'd be surprised what you can do. And with that, it builds confidence. And not only confidence within the sport, but you take that and you build confidence in life. I went from being shy. I hit a girl and I'm like, I walk in the street like nobody's, like some, like, homegirl, like, what up? Like, like, I don't care. I had that confidence, but I think it a lot with derby because that's where I built it the most.
Yeah. And I like my, our scare names, how we're saying the persona, because, I work in finance. And then people tell me, they're like, I go flyering in the office. I'm like, oh, I have a game. What do you do? Roller derby. You play roller derby?
I get that a lot.
Yes. And they're like, I would have never guessed. I'm like, yeah, come. I'm a different person.
You're like, yeah, I'm sort of a big deal.
No, I wouldn't say that. Because I hate the question, like, are you good? I'm all, find out for yourself. Come to the game.
I don't know why people ask that.
I hate that question,
I hate that question, too.
But I'm just like, find out. And then
11 years in, I'm a badass.
Yeah. I've only been doing it 11 years, but no big 15 years.
Big old flex.
Yes.
Hold on, where's the bathroom that way?
Well, on that note, again, I'm very thankful you guys made it out here.
Yes.
I'll help you guys out however I can. And yeah, man, anytime you guys want to come back, it's an open door. Just let me know.
Okay, tomorrow. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I know. Like, we'll be here tomorrow, same time.
No, awesome. It was thank you so much for wanting to have us, actually, because coming in real quick, I didn't know who you were, so I was just like, we're doing a podcast about derby. Okay. And so, coming in, we're also building another friendship, when it comes to you guys, and
that's
what you're
important
doing.
To me. Like I love showcasing everybody and all past everything cool and making the friendships.
It's the best takeaway as well. So thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
So again, this is Rene Rodriguez with the Long Story Longer podcast with Miss Prettie Poison and Skatey Perry. Thank y'all for making it. Love y'all. Peace out. That was great, dude.